Sports coverage of college football is underway here in Don't Call Me Carmen, San Diego, California. What a beautiful sight to see the Aztec band make its way out at Snapdragon Stadium. They offer the chips to Qualcomm at the old Murph that was once next door. It's a parking lot these days. Tim Brando alongside Spencer Tillman for the 25th year. That's our silver anniversary.
Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary.
It is, and it's silver. I color my silver generally. That's what I do. Spencer, let's start with this great matchup.
Yes, sir.
And we begin with a quarterback that's likely to play at the next level. Curtis Rourke, brother of one that's in the NFL now. They have earmarks on him in the CFL. He hails from Old Canada.
Well, there's nothing not to like about him. He's strapping to about 6'5", right? He's got a great arm. He's accurate, Tim. He's got a strong supporting cast. But here's the deal. Can he distribute those when he's got all three? There's a little hiccup. Hang on. Sam Wiglis is one of those. Chief among them, the transfer from Ohio State. Outstanding. Miles Cross will be interjected in there as well. Who's missing is Jacoby Jones. Because of his absence, more of a possession guy, but great after the catch, Timmy. He won't be there. He's in street clothes today. Let's see if that's enough diversity.
He's 6'5". He's very
big,
long.
man.
It could have really helped him against those 5'9" DBs. On the flip side, San Diego State, Brady Hoke, always founded, just like Rocky Long's teams, on defense. They've got some guys that can run and chase, and it could be the difference.
Yeah, and they're going to need to do it, Timmy, because they're small up front. They don't have the size that they did last year. So Kurt Maddox, the defensive coordinator, is going to try to rebuild that. But in the meantime, he's going to rely on a very veteran back half. But Garrett Foundation will be one of those, along with Cooper McDonald. The rush in and the Sam linebacker together will be able to bring pressure if they can. They're not necessarily big on the back end, but they're tenacious, man. They could be formidable.
Yeah, beware of the fountain of youth in McDonald. What they can do is immeasurable to this team. We've been without football for too long. They call it Big Zero, but the games are anything but. Time to get it on. Maction Mountain West next. College football is back, and we welcome you into Snapdragon Stadium. And look at this picturesque day, huh? 75 degrees, 66% humidity. I love that. And it opened just a year ago. 35,000 is capacity, and we expect about 20 to 25,000 today. Let's get now a Stay in the Game report, sponsored by Hampton by Hilton for the stay.
Timmy, really gets very simple. Our formula for the MAC MVP, Curtis Rourke, we talked about him in the open. You know, he's got to be able to step up, right? And he's coming off that knee injury. If he can be very effective and consistent and get into those now two key receivers, that's going to be very important. Ultimately, San Diego State on the other side, they've got to find a way to get pressure on him. If they can do that, both teams will be in a position to win this game. Somebody's going to get ambushed today.
Alex Casey, one of the freshmen on this team. They are using at the kicking position. This is going to be a concern if the game is close, and many believe that it will be. At last report, San Diego State was a 2-point favorite here at home. They've got an outstanding kicker in Browning, but for Tim Albans there, he's not sure what he's going to see in real live game action. That's Keenan Kristen, who's back deep, number 23 in dual safety.
Tim, he's a transfer from USC. He's a very dynamic return man.
And thankfully, the kick by the youngster goes through the end zone, and San Diego State will take the field. Let's look at this lineup. An offensive line that is trusted. Jones, Bennett. You see the youngster on the right side, Abdullah, along with Maru. Maru moves into that position vacated by Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon. That's the one change. And you see the rest of that lineup with Davis, Makai Shaw, Leslie Nicholson, and Redmond, the tight end. He's a real go-to guy. And there's the quarterback, Jalen Maiden, converted safety. And he helped turn around this San Diego State team that was sliding last year when they moved him from safety. Actually played 48 snaps at safety last year before taking the helm as the starting quarterback. Transfer from Mississippi State.
He made it through 8 games last year, Tim, and we'll see if he can be a true starter. In some ways, this is a maiden voyage for him. You know, to first time as a true starter from end to end.
His nickname is Moose, and his size will tell you why. And he's going to call his own number right here. And he's ahead for 5, maybe 6 yards. He wound up being an honorable mention All-America Mountain West, despite only playing 8 games at quarterback a year ago after that conversion. Look at that. Just amazing to think what they were able to accomplish with him versus without him at that position. And his offensive coordinator, Ryan Lindley, a great player here, one of the all-time best quarterbacks that's returned from the NFL to be the OC for Brady Hoke. Loves him. Says he's a do-everything, yes, sir, whatever you need from me guy.
Here's a 4x1 set. Tim will unpack this a little bit later on, but we didn't know which team was going to run it, but it's intriguing.
Kristen is ahead past the 30 to the 31 for the first down. Bryce Houston makes the stop. You look at that defense, Watkins, Matthews, and Rayon Buell up front. We've got Bonner, Thompson, and Bryce who made that tackle in that 3-3-5 setup. Cox is outstanding, may be a pro. Brawley, Reynolds, Williams, a part of that defensive backfield for the Bobcats.
Look for the captains, too. Bryce Houston and then Rodney Matthews at the center spot. Those two are dynamic. Great leaders.
3rd down and 4 for Maiden. Underneath he goes, and it's complete to Kristen out of the backfield. And he's ahead for the first down. Again, Houston, that weak side linebacker, runs him down.
Tim, you know, the more I look at number 18, he reminds me of Joel Lennon. Remember the quarterback at Iowa State? Converted from a linebacker position and did a wonderful job for Matt Campbell there. And the only thing that Matt said he regretted is he didn't use him earlier and sooner. Now, unfortunately, it didn't work out for them necessarily, but here it seems like they got a hold of him and discovered him well in advance so that he can be a great contributor.
Tim Albin, you saw him across the way. What a job he's done since taking over, and a bounce out. Nice. It's a beauty by Kristen, and ahead he goes into Bobcat territory. That's Shane Bonner, 28, that finally shoved him out. And a big-time gain of 20.
Yeah, Tim, watch this inside zone here, but watch on the outside. Watch him place that ball, not enough, switch it over so that he has that right hand free to extend it. That's what got him around the corner on the outside. Just a great presence. Austin Brawley had him into his mindset, and that switch of the ball from that inside hand to the right to the left freed up the right hand so that he could get that stiff arm and get around that corner. Love this kid, man.
Yeah, he knows the way to your heart.
Oh, man, he's talented, man. He's gifted.
Got to move that ball to the hand where the boundary is located. First down now out of the gun. They've been looking long on the cross and looking for the post pattern. It's incomplete. Burchett in coverage, number 8 for the Bobcats. Balin Brooks, who is a deep threat, was the intended receiver.
Well, it looked like they had a single high safety look, and you can see him coming off the ball. Brooks turns inside, makes it into a skinny post. Ball is just on his back shoulder. I'm not sure if he could see the ball, but the ball, that's where the quarterback has got to develop to be able to throw receivers open, Tim. Wide middle of the field, single high safety look, nothing but grass to that right side. Throw the ball and let your receiver run underneath.
2nd down and 10.
I love this kid.
This looks like a Kristen drive for San Diego State, does it not? Dangerous as a receiver, you've already seen that. That's Key Thompson that makes the tackle, one of the captains, number 38, the middle linebacker.
Tim, I remember when he was a freshman at USC. He had an unbelievable run on the receiving. He reminds me of a very skinny, and I'm going old school on you, Roger Craig.
Ooh,
the ability to affect you through the throw game or through the run game. A lot smaller than Roger was, but I'm telling you, very effective. This guy right here is a secret weapon.
I know you want him in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why he's there already.
Unbelievable. 13,000 plus yards.
That was a gain of 11 for Kristen, so it's first down. A controlled drive early, but Maven is in trouble. Has to dump it and does. In the general area of the tight end, Jay Rudolph. Bonner with the pressure. Well, the referee was actually in the way. It got hit in the face during all that.
Adonis Williams was in there on the tackle along with Shane Bonner. And I'll tell you, we were thinking about who would bring the first, and Coach Albin said, hey, he's holding my guys. I'm trying to put pressure on them, and we're trying to get to the quarterback, and they're stopping us. We know what the Aztecs are going to do. If they can ever blitz, they're going to put pressure. But we didn't expect the Bobcats to come as frequently.
Yeah, the Bobcats have called a timeout, too. With a 2nd and 10 coming up, he got his guy over there, and, yeah, he definitely held the tight end, Rudolph, 82, who basically was in position to look like an intended receiver. And then watch, boom, right up against the side of the head.
His IFB fell out. He hit him so hard. That's an internal feedback device.
Right.
Viewing at home.
We've got a lot of television insiders out there listening and watching, so I'm sure they needed to know that. Yep. That's where we get our original thoughts, are from the IFB. Jake Jolivet, as well as Dustin Denny, our producer and director. Our crack staff at Fox Sports. And Albert, I think, wanted this timeout just to give everybody an earful. That's Christian Watson, our referee, the white hat. Bill Stimmel is our replay official today, but Albin was very upset. And you know what? Rudolph did what he had to do. He gave his quarterback time to throw the ball.
Yeah. He's not, Coach Albin's not afraid to talk to this guy, man. He was giving him a mouthful. I don't know if I'd mess with him too much, but Coach Albin is a coach in the strictest sense of the definition, Tim. He's been here 19 years.
Long time.
He's arguing here. He's saying, hey, look, this is the first time ever he's had a week 0 game. He's prepared for it. He's got his team focused. He doesn't want to squander this opportunity. They think that they can get a win here.
Indeed, and as the favorites in their division in the MAC, they made, of course, the championship game last year without their star quarterback. We'll touch on that when they get the ball.
Well, listen, they're set up.
Lost to a great Toledo team that you and I saw in Columbus against Ohio State. The Finn kid is a tremendous quarterback, and he led them, the Rockets, to the MAC title a year ago.
They've got 9 returning starters, and they're expecting a lot from them, so they're set up for more.
2nd down and 10. And this drive has been really about establishing the run with Keenan Kristen. They've done that. And then throwing underneath and maybe even to Kristen out of the backfield.
And they're also stealing offensive opportunities away from the Bobcats the longer they keep it.
3 wide to the bottom of your screen.
Nice.
Little fake, and there he goes. The Moose, Jalen Maiden, taken off out of Garland, Texas, just outside the Dallas area. His brother was a safety at Alabama at one time, and of course he went on to Mississippi State, as we mentioned. That's Roman Perotti that made the tackle.
Tim, watch the 70 here, the pulling guard from the offside. He comes and gets behind him. A nice escort, 315 pounds worth. Gets Maben up there for some extra yards. Again, the thing is, they're painting the football field. They're moving it from left to right. They're working with their backs one direction and come back the other way, using the full breadth and width of the field.
Can they convert another 3rd down? No, they can't. Pass was thrown a little out in front. Austin Brawley was in coverage. They were looking for, I believe that was the tight end they were looking for. Pass was overthrown.
Yep, you know, we talk about throwing people open. This is just where he's lacking the experience to be able to put that ball where it needs to be.
Yeah, that was Mekhi Shaw that was the intended receiver, 83. This will be a 49-yard field goal attempt. And Jack Browning, who's considered a kicker to play at the next level. Brady Holt very confident in this young man, and you'll see why. 49 yards. In 22, he converted along of 52 and did not miss an extra point. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Hampton, by Hilton for the stay. We've enjoyed our stay here in San Diego to open our season. That scoring drive, 10 plays, 44 yards. Browning, by the way, in his career, 21 of 26 now in his 2nd year. And, you know, he handles it all for them. He's one of those guys, and they're rare commodities in the game today. A guy that can punt it extremely well, and a guy that can place kick it just as well.
Well, 407 doesn't seem like a lot of time, but again, for the way the Aztecs played, to be able to come away with 3 points and put a team that likes to go fast, kind of behind the sticks as it were, they'll take that. That's a win for them.
Keegan Wilburn is back deep. Reserve wide receiver from 2 yards deep in the end zone. And he's out shy of the 20, near the 19. As you take a look at the lineups for Ohio U, up front, and Berge, Daneker, Titsworth, great center. Christoph Atkinson and Shedrick Rhodes. And then the skill positions. Bangura, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. They were happy to keep him. Walton, Cross, Wiggless, and Foster, the tight end. And they'll use their tight ends quite a bit, too. For Curtis Rourke, talk about an arm. He's got it.
They're coming out 4 wide, Tim.
Yes, they are. Out of the shotgun.
Nice.
And there's Wiggless. Bounced out of his hands briefly, but he reeled it back in and got it to the 25 for a gain of 8. And there he is. Curtis, nicknamed Maple Missile, finished top 10 in the nation in completion percentage, passing efficiency, passing yards per game, and total offense.
Well, he throws a sweet ball. There's no question about that. And he just took advantage of off coverage on that last one. Now he's got more of a conventional throw look here. This is 12 personnel, old school, man. Just turn around and hand this off.
And they do. It's Bangura. This young man, a lot of people expected him to leave with NIL, that there would be some offers. He chose to stay, and that really helps him. Here's that defense. Drager, Alu, Garrett Fountain, who Spencer mentioned at the top of the show. Kiasu, along with McDonald and Cajo, the linebackers. Celestine, Barfield, Malone, Ratcliffe, and Chris Johnson in that secondary for this 3-3-5 defense of Kurt Maddox, the defensive coordinator. What a character he is.
Great, very gifted. You see a lot of moving and communication taking place. The late stems by the Aztecs precipitating that.
On first down, they go with Bangura again. You know, he had to shoulder much of the responsibility a year ago because O'Shawn Allison was out for the year. He gained 3 there. The good news for Ohio fans is that Allison has returned from that shoulder injury and should be able to spell Bangura just a bit. So they will have a sort of yin for yang answer in the backfield. Plus, they've got studs coming up like Ricky Hunt and Quintel Quinn, the Purdue transfer. Second down, Rourke, incomplete, thrown a little behind Miles Cross. Into some double coverage, too. San Diego State had that one well defensed.
They really did, and they're really using some, what we call some bandit-type looks, where you got linebackers dropping back in the middle of the field. You see that a lot of times with 4-3 looks when you've got a great athletic outside linebacker that can both defend the run and cover a tight end. And you see some of that, and it's the athleticism is unbelievable. At some point, Kurt Maddox is going to have to press the issue and get out of this soft look here.
See the conversion story for them a year ago. 42% on third down. Rourke on third down and 7. There it is. Beautifully done. Nice cross. That's Wiggless that comes up with it. And he's got a first down. A true possession receiver. And with the embarrassment of riches that Ryan Day had, he made a good choice to make it to Athens, Ohio.
Now you see Wiggless in the inside, right? It's man under. He goes in there and finds it. They're running and flying now, Tim.
Little curl and quickly to Tyler Walton. Stopped at the 45, and you're right. They're getting in rhythm. That's Dallas Branch, number 12. Who makes the stop, the transfer from Long Beach City College.
He's going to play a lot. You know, he's basically a starter, man. 3 interceptions last year, a great athlete. They expect a lot from him.
Second and 3.
Got him.
McDonald did move prematurely. You're right. Got him with cadence. So he got a freebie to Wiggless. And that's a conversion out to the 32-yard line. I suspect they'll decline and keep the train moving here.
Offside. Defense, number 55. That penalty is declined. Play resulted in the first down.
Yeah, it was Cooper McDonald, the 3-time All-Mountain West linebacker, who jumped off the cadence.
Well, he's a senior transfer, and again, this is one of your leaders right there. You can see him. That little movement, doesn't get back in time, and listen, that's the thing that they can ill afford to do. He's one of the 2 guys that are able to bring pressure because of that very smallish defensive front, not like it was a year ago. They need him to play with integrity.
First and 10. First possession for the Bobcats after San Diego State marched 44 yards for a Browning field goal. Quick drop, and there's the out pattern complete to Foster. And this tight end, they will flank Spencer off of the line of scrimmage. Like a lot of tight ends, they'll move him out and match him up.
Well, he had the last play to win the bowl game, man, Tim, last year. It was an unbelievable catch to win, and that just shows you why they go to him. He's a great asset to have. Rourke understands it, puts his eyes opposite, and then comes back and finds the one-on-one matchup. That's great pitch and catch right there.
I love Rourke's composure, don't you?
Yep, he's great.
5 of 6 for 52 yards already.
Another pass, or they're going to fan this one. Oh, inside zone.
Bangura goes with a little inside zone instead. I love when you get surprised early in the season.
And you know what I was looking
at in the
stop? Just so the people know at home, when the guard pats his rear, what that is a signal of is to fan. That means I'm going to open up. But they also will use that on running plays as well. So that's what kind of confused me. It was the same formation it was the previous play. Same call, tap on the rear. I'm trying to pick plays and steal signs like everybody else, man.
I surprised you this morning.
Yeah, you did.
2nd and 8.
Ooh, 5 wide. Open them up, Tim. I bet you this is a pass. Now they're going to fan it the same thing. Right guard, left guard, open up. Nice.
Oh, beautiful out route to Bangura. I love the way they utilize backs as receivers. And Bangura had 27 catches for 226 yards last year. Sedarius Barfield shoved him out.
Well, they got a switch route right here. It's a natural rub. And when you're playing off coverage like that, that's like stealing, Tim. It's so easy, man. You got guys with a 7-yard cushion and an athletic quarterback, receivers. All you got to do is present your numbers. That's an easy catch.
You see the red zone efficiency from a year ago. It was outstanding. But they can improve upon it. That's one of the things Tim Alvin talked to us about this week. Option to the right side.
Nice pitch.
Just in time to Bangura. And he took the blow, didn't he?
He sure did, man.
And Barfield again makes the stop, shoving him out. A negligible gain, really. But boy, am I impressed with Rourke, a guy you don't think of as an option-oriented quarterback.
Yeah, Marcus Ratcliffe, though, was the guy that popped him, man, and nailed him really good, Tim. But that's how the option works. It works best when you take it to the last step you can. I remember I had visions of Jamel Holloway, and even, hey, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Troy Aikman used to run the Washington when he came at Oklahoma as well before he transferred to UCLA. It's best when you take it to the limit.
2nd and goal. He quotes Randy Meisner inside the red zone.
I would run it to the left soft side to get that tight end.
Yep. Bangura plunging inside, burrows ahead, and they're going to say he's not even to the 1. They stopped him cold just inside the 2-yard line. That was a heck of a blow you were talking about that Rourke absorbed.
And it's the willingness to take that shot, and it becomes a numbers game, right? You can't be everywhere, and that's why the option works. Commit to the guy that no longer has the ball. You're down a man.
Hey, Spencer, this is where they could really use Jacoby Jones, right? With that
they really could. So
to
now,
run a little fade.
Oh, that's a great take, Tim, because that's what he brought. He's more than a possession guy, a little over 6 foot, 6'2", but he's like 215, almost 220. Big, strong, strapping guy.
3rd and goal, and quickly they run down and get the timeout. I believe that's the offensive coordinator, Coach Izzy. Scott is Burling. Running down there to get the quick timeout. No, it may have been Albert. It may have been Tim instead. I beg your pardon. It'll be 3rd down and goal. We'll see what they come up with after the timeout. Jacoby Jones, there he is on the sidelines. And as we mentioned, Spencer, boy, could they use him right here.
Yeah, he's big, strong. He's a space mover. These smallish cover men on the back end for the Aztecs, they may be able to be in his face, but they're not going to win the physical battle if he were available.
3rd and goal from the 2.
I think you attack the grass, and it's right over by that Z right there, Tim. If they don't get a light box, and by that I mean fewer numbers inside the tackles. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'll throw this ball.
He will.
Nice.
Crossing pattern, quick little curl.
Trying to get it.
Incomplete as he was trying to get Wigless on the slant.
Yep.
And it was knocked away by Sedarius Barfield, who had a very good series defensively. Did a nice job stopping 2 running plays inside the red zone.
I said he'd go right over the Z, right?
Yep.
That's where he was attempting to throw. And this offense, in a very real sense, Tim, has a lot of the concepts as the air raid concepts. It's about throwing to the naked spaces, the grass, as it were. The late Mike Leach would refer to.
Yes. Glad you mentioned him. He still plays a strong role almost everywhere in college football, and even with these teams. Spedick, the freshman, for the extra point. Excuse me, a field goal. I said extra point. I'm sorry. I thought they scored.
It's early.
It's my first game for all season. You know, you really should have caught that ball.
They should have.
Timeout. We're tied at 3. 14 plays, 81 yards. It culminates with a field goal after a nice defensive stop inside the 5-yard line by San Diego State. Rourke is upstairs talking to Coach Izzy. As you see, Alex Casey preparing to kick it away.
So far, Timmy, the Bobcats are doing a better job of what the Aztecs need to do to win by possessing the ball. The 6 minutes and 26 seconds are significant. Nearly 2.5 minutes longer than the Aztecs use on their scoring possession.
Here comes the return and a lot of room.
That's a form tackle right there, man.
32-yard line. That's Martin Blake with the return. We come back. We feature Ross Lungalu Masayuli, sophomore from San Diego, California. Went to Mater Dei, converted from guard to center. When we were going through the lineups, I conveniently went past his name so I could get the other 4 guys in there, because I wanted to make mention that this is a young man that Ryan Lindley has such faith in. He was a great guard, and he's decided, you know what, we got to have a new center. This guy is just too good, too smart not to put at that position.
And we'll talk a little bit why that is the case here, Tim.
By the time I would have finished pronouncing his name, the graphic would have been gone. And there you see Martin Blake with the carry. Bryce Houston with a tackle for loss, first of the game in the run game. It's 2nd and 12.
Yeah, you see 32 right here in that inside linebacker position, right? He just seeks in there, right? He has no blocking responsibility. He's free to kind of fill those gaps and those voids. That's his responsibility and his alignment in that position. Technically, he's a will linebacker. That's the weak side away from the tight end, but they'll move him around inside.
Cam Davis is checked in now, and he's going to come out of the backfield with his pass. There he goes. Past the 30, past the 35, and up to the 40-yard line.
They're flying around there, man.
Yes, they are. 11-yard pickup. 3rd down, a yard to go.
Aggressive play. I'll tell you, we're seeing it right now. Great job of pulling in that aggressive front to create the soft cushion underneath that screen. Bodies flying around, making plays, man. This is good football.
Spence Nowinski, this defense of his, a 4-2-5 setup, is physical. Jalen Armstead, number 2, is checked back in at running back. 3rd and 1 is stopped, but the second effort, the 3rd effort, ball is out, and Ohio U looks to have it. That's Austin Brawley out of Massillon. That's a beautiful play. The field side strong safety making it with the recovery.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the type of aggression that you would expect from this Bobcat. Ohio U defensive stop unit when they're in this situation. Very aggressive, very focused on their technique, putting the ball right back in hands of this dynamic offense.
Well, that was an opportunity for a strip, and then Burchett actually knocked it out of there. Number 8, the cornerback out of Wire High School, Palm Beach Gardens. O'Shawn Allison now back from injury is the setback. He'll spell Bangura on this drive. Rourke, little inside wide receiver screen to Wiggless. They'll use him in that way. Got a little Edelman to him, right?
Yep, he does.
Pickup.
Multi-player can work the slot very well and then take advantage of that. Was what we call a cover 2 shell look. 2 deep safeties. And what does that mean? That means there's a light box or soft spot underneath. That 3rd guy typically would be down by the line of scrimmage. But if he does that, then you just hit that Y seam, man. And they're capable of doing it. Now they're in the cover 3 look. The seam, those hashes are wide open.
On 2nd and 7. Curled, nice defensive play, but a flag comes out. Might be thrown against Des Malone. Dejan Malone, the junior out of Fresno, California, May have had an arm in there before he made
Pass
that move.
interference. Defense, number 4. It's a spot foul and automatic. First down.
This John Malone, he's got big body, man. He's 6'2", Tim, about 200 pounds. And the thing about him, this is his game right here. He's going to be physical. He's a captain.
I don't know.
He's going to be aggressive. I don't know if that's worthy of a flag.
No, he's making a play. I'm sorry. He's making a play on the ball. Unless that happened long before the throw was made, that's a bit questionable. First down, Rourke.
Nice.
Dumps it underneath, marker down.
That'll be holding.
And that's going to be Walton. He gets it down to the 22. And I'm sure some San Diego State fans may say justice served. Holding.
Offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty. It'll make first down.
Not to imply, as some fans do, the old makeup call. I believe this truly was holding.
Yep.
Top of your screen, take a look. Yeah,
Jay Amberger there, number 53. He was the redshirt senior that they got on that play. And anytime your quarterback's got that much time back there, somebody's usually hanging on for a ride.
So it sets up first down and 20.
Stay in this 4-by set, Tim. 4 wide receivers or 1 tight end. Check that. And 3 skill position players.
To 1:59 and the play clock to 25 seconds. And starting both of my play signal. Thank you.
That's all we ask from our white hats. Just let us know. Christian Watson, our referee.
Got a little pistol formation now.
O'Shawn gets it down to the 42. O'Shawn Allison.
I think I know what they want to do, Tim. They're going to attack the inside, even though it looks like a balanced look. Usually, if you call that inside zone, it's because you've got reduced numbers defensively. What does that mean? That means you have fewer people in that box than you normally would.
Well, they got 5.
Yep, but that's a good decision. Good call. Keep attacking that light box.
Second down and 15.
There's another balanced look. You can get a blitz here.
Tight end has moved into the slot.
Now, here we come.
Audible, out pattern, it's caught. And Tyler Walton with the grab. And again, Dallas Branch with the stop. And it's going to set up a third down and manageable after being first and 20.
Kirk Maddox, the defensive coordinator, finally comes out of that cover 2 shell concept with pressure up front. That means you've got to win the individual battles on the outside, Tim. And here, nice pitch and catch here. Tyler Walton, wonderful job of taking advantage of his responsibility to beat his outside coverage.
Here's your teacup with Kazmarek, the tight end, leading it 87.
And it's detached, so we'll see if they can handle this. The rub, you got to get rid of it quick. It's probably going to be in here by the numbers. Number 30, the last receiver inside, number 12, will probably catch this ball.
Third down and 5. Rourke under pressure.
If not, the blitz get to him.
All out blitz from Kirk Maddox's team.
And he's dinged, Tim.
Yep.
Rourke's, he's down.
Yeah, Viaseu, Cyrus Viaseu, number 6, making the play. And Rourke, very slow to get up. In fact, he's not as yet gotten up.
Well, again, we knew he's got that repaired ACL, right? We know that, but here's the pressure coming from the outside, Tim. This is what they do exceptionally well. They picked it up and tried to pass it off. And unfortunately, Shedrick Rhodes was out there. He was the one that tried to, number 64, pass that off. He should have stayed engaged. And here's why. You always take the most inner threat to your quarterback. You leave the widest threat for the quarterback. That was a busted assignment by Shedrick Rhodes.
He's gotten up now and managed to get to the sidelines on his own power. As a matter of fact, jogged his way back. So apparently it just tweaked that ACL injury. We can certainly hope that. Lost 10 yards on the play, so fourth down coming up.
Well, here's a difficult truth here. DC Kirk Maddox, the Aztecs is going to do it again because it was successful.
Yeah.
That is the end of the first quarter.
And we've come to the end of the first quarter, and C.J. Harris, they thought they would see him, did San Diego State defensively, and they will, but not necessarily because Rourke had been knocked out of the game. Second quarter coming up. Here's the injury to Rourke that has sent him to the sidelines on the last play of the first quarter on this blitz. It will lead to a punt to start the second quarter. I think they grazed the ankle a bit on the tackle. Let's hope it's just precautionary. You see he popped up pretty quickly and jogged off to the sidelines. He's now having it looked at. Kai Shaw is back deep as Jared Whitley, graduate senior, will come it away. High end over end boot. And a fair catch called by Makai Shaw. 32 yards, no return. Well, Brady Hawk, Mr. Hoke is no stranger to playing against teams from Ohio, or teams in the MAC for that matter, as a college head coach. 15-12 overall, including 0-1 against the Ohio U Bobcats. This is the 28th game against Ohio-based teams that he's played. And remember, it all got started for him at Ball State and then really triggered at San Diego State the opportunity for Rocky Long to take him to levels that they had never before been. That ball was handed off, and Kristen was down in the arms of Rodney Matthews, the nose tackle number 5. Immediately a loss of 4.
You talk about playing on the other side of the ball. Number 5, man, was in the backfield. Man, he looked a little bit swifter with that single-digit number, man. He got in there quick as a hiccup, Timmy. Watch this little inside move from the under-tackle technique. He splits them, not confused by the tight end wham motion, working for the outside. He says, hey, I'm a heat-seeking missile, baby. I'm coming to you. Fever.
He looked like that big-time Oregon defensive lineman that
with Thibodeau,
Mr. Thibodeau. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Now with the New York Giants.
Yep.
Out pattern is incomplete. Pass intended for Makai Shaw. And it's 3rd and long. And San Diego State at this stage, I'm sure, must be thinking, let's get a little field position here for our punter if need be. Maben is not a guy you expect necessarily to handle that many 3rd and longs. He did throw for 322 yards, though, in his first career start against Hawaii.
Come out with the 4-receiver set. Tim trying to spread things out. Now they come back and build it inside.
Yeah, keep 2 backs in for protection's sake. Nice. Underneath, there it is. Cam Davis tries to get ahead for a little yardage, but winds up losing yet another yard. Key Thompson again with the stop out of the Youngstown area, Barberton, Ohio.
Well, he's another one of those backs out there that's an asset, is Cam Davis. And Keenan Christian, we've seen him, number 23, he's outstanding. They'll bring in Jalen Armstead in there as well. And they've got a young freshman that they're high on. But again, they got to get this offense opened up a little bit before they can get the ball in their hands effectively. Tyler
Walden is standing at midfield. They really need Browning to come up with a quality punt here. From 3 yards deep, and he got all of it. Absolutely all of it. Now you know why they have an advantage in the kicking game. Walton may have outkicked his coverage just a bit as he manages the 46, maybe the 47, but a marker is down. The flag is down at the 38-yard line of San Diego State. So we'll check the marker. 57-yard boot, 11-yard return.
He might have a NIL deal with Brown.
On the return, holding, Ohio, number 39. 10-yard penalty from him to run. First down, timeout on the field.
So that one will back him up and take him back. Here comes the penalty committed by Mecca Ryder, number 39, a backup cornerback. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Hampton by Hilton for the stay. USS Midway.
Wow.
I've had the good fortune of being inside that, one of the tours that we took during the Holiday Bowl years. Yep.
I'll trump you here in a minute with another one. I was on the Carl Vinson.
Well, you've seen some sunrises yourself, partner. Here's C.J. Harris up in the air. Hello, how do you do? Trey White with the interception of Harris. Redshirt freshman from right here in San Diego. A big pop and pressure is what caused the pass to go awry.
Yeah, Keon Mitchell was in there, Tim, the right defensive end. We talked about Garrett Fountain and company, but it's one of the backups that's involved in this pressure here on the right side, and it's coming frequently. You see the pressure. Number 91 in particular got in there as well.
58, Cody Moon delivered the hit.
Cody Moon was delivering a moon shot in this one as well. It's just the pressure of all of those guys coming to bear.
Was that
Cody
a hit?
Moon in particular. All those guys around the football. Vi Cajo in there as well.
I can tell you something. Moon is an incredible story. He was a non-scholarship preferred walk-on at New Mexico. Had some of his best games against San Diego State. Did get a scholarship, but managed to come here as Kristen takes it ahead inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. You see players like Cody Moon and stories like his. He just knew he had to be a scholarship player at some point because he couldn't afford to pay for school, and now he's on the Bronco Nagurski Trophy watch list as the nation's best defensive player. 2nd and 6.
And for them, they're pacing things up a little bit. Again, they're always going to take advantage of lining up, Tim, but trying to go with a little bit better tempo.
Maben under pressure, now trying to navigate his receivers, and he'll just take it. And he's got an easy first down. Why not? He's a tremendous athlete, and as big as he is, he's also fleet of foot.
But Tim, I think right now, the Bobcats better be mindful of who they have up front in this game. They're going to still push this ball to the right now. I would be running right at number 5.
That's Kristen. And he's wrapped up. They're a little feisty in there, aren't they?
Yep.
Tell you, these are two proud programs, one from the Mountain West, the other from the Mid-America Conference, that has such a great history and tradition. Talked to John Steinbrucker today, the commissioner of the MAC. He's been there for 15 years. He's now the dean of commissioners of FBS college football, and he's got a reason to be excited about this year in the MAC. A lot of good teams. Central Michigan, you and I will see next week against Michigan State. This Ohio team and Toledo.
Oh, doctor.
Crossing pattern caught. It's Rudolph, the tight end. And a lot of heat coming again to Maben. Adonis Williams makes the stop.
Timmy, you want to tell you what? This is called putting it in your watch pocket. Watch number 23 right here, Keaton Kristen right here, deliver a blow. I mean, this is something, man. He tracked this guy coming in and just sent him the opposite direction.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, very clean, too. Got him with his shoulder.
And he tracked him all the way. I mean, it just tells you he knows his assignment. He understands football. That's a 5th-year senior right there.
3rd down and 7. Blitz coming off the corner, and he has to unload. Incomplete. Kristen, the intended receiver. All right, think about it. Big play for the Aztecs a little earlier when they punted from their end zone and then forced the Bobcats to start from their 37. That tilted the field position to a point where they might get the ball back with a turnover, and they did. And here's Browning now looking for the lead with a field goal of 38 yards. Angle left. And he pushed it. Well, that's a rarity. Unable to capitalize on the turnover. Cody Moon's moon shot will be felt by CJ for quite some time. Tomorrow, the NFL is back on Fox. In the final week of preseason, the Texans take on the Saints. Don't miss any of the action tomorrow at 8 Eastern Time here on Fox. That's a preseason game, Spencer. You and I used to get together for a little soiree.
Yep, I covered the Texans.
Yeah, and I covered the Saints with Archie and Solomon Wilcox back in the day in preseason football. Bangura. Past the 25 to the 28. Cody Moon ever present. Making the tackle for now. It seems to be Harris's game. Rourke appears to be okay along the sidelines. A gain of 7. 2nd and 3. Now remember now, he can get out of the pocket. He's a completely different style of quarterback than Rourke. but one that San Diego State prepared for. They thought that they would see a package of plays for Harris regardless of Rourke's physical status.
And I think what makes him viable is the way he finished last year, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, such an influence that got them down the stretch in a position where they could begin to expect more from that position. Embarrassment of riches there in terms of depth.
Well, he was the Arizona Bowl MVP. And the Bobcats went over Wyoming. Very significant win, too, for Coach Album.
Let's see how they deal with this five-man pressure look.
Bangura catapults to the 40. Gain of 7.
Dejan Malone, number 4, in there for the tackle, Tim. And Ratcliffe was in there as well.
Well, Bangura with 7 rushes for 32 yards. They're not expecting 1,000 again for him because of O'Shawn Allison's return and the really quality backups they have. This Ricky Hunt kid, they say, is the next great running back at Ohio University. Freshman. Here's Bangura. And he gives a little second and third effort to get the first down out to the 45.
Scott Isfordine, the offensive coordinator for Ohio Bobcats, did a nice job of kind of discerning what his philosophy was going to be. But I'm a little bit challenged right now on what they're trying to accomplish. It seems like they're intentionally slowing things down. Maybe it's because of CJ or not, but I would just go with the momentum he ended the season with him and just open up the playbook. They've got 3 wide receivers now, so it's more of a conventional look, pro look, that is.
Peel, the tight end, again off the line of scrimmage. Foster in a slot right, helping to chip and block. The pass is converted to Miles Cross. Well conceived play there, and he stopped inside the 40 at the 39 of San Diego State. Chris Johnson, true sophomore from Eleanor Roosevelt High School in East Vale, California, with a stop. 16-yard gain.
Nice gain, and it was a cross field, what I call a 3/4 field throw. They've got confidence in CJ's arm.
O'Shawn Allison checks back in at running back.
Lift it up and see if they're going to go the opposite direction with this. It's the same formation, just to the wide side of the field.
Allison nowhere to go, bounces out. You know, he's sturdy. He is big-time sturdy. There is a difference. Bangura looks to be more the slashing style of back, but this guy is just strong up and down his body, and he bounced out beautifully. Dalton made the stop.
Yeah, that was Darian Dalton, number 97, Tim, and he's a big dude, right? He's about 265, smallish for a conventional person that's playing at that 0 technique or 1 or 3-eye, but for what you expect in a matchup with a running back, he's supposed to win that battle.
Allison remains the setback on 2nd and 3.
Showing pressure here, Kurt Maddox.
He'll get it again, and he's inside the 30 to the 29. Should be a first down.
Yeah, not afraid. Scott Isfordine running directly at that front. A lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage, and
well, let's face it, they're a lot larger offensive front.
Sure, that makes
San
sense.
Diego State's defensive front. It's about 35 pounds a man, really. San Diego State will go 3 deep at a lot of spots because they want to stay fresh against this larger Mid-America opponent.
I would run it again. Now the reduction, they're getting out of it, so this is a tough decision for them. You got, there you go. Nice job. Come back to the weak side of the field to the left.
Cuts it back up. Let's keep on turning. Down to near the 25-yard line.
Yeah, this game is really simple, Tim. It's about running away from the numbers.
Runners for progress was stopped prior to the fumble. 2nd down.
When you come up to the line of scrimmage, if you're CJ, you're looking, okay, where's the safety? If he's lined up to the wide side of the field, I know, particularly if I've called it, and the tight end's on the right side, that's the strength of the field. Let's go away from that, where there are fewer bodies. It's about counting them up.
Bangura rushed for 90-plus yards in over 7 games last season.
Same look.
Yep. Same play.
Yep.
It's a yard this time, and that's all. San Diego State was ready for that one. Keon Mitchell, I beg your pardon, a 6'4", 260-pound sophomore from Framingham, Massachusetts.
Now, you'd like to be offensively, if you're Scott is for D, and you're looking for what they call a run-pass conflict. It's third and about 5.
Yep.
So what you ideally want is 3rd and 2. Now you can run it or throw it. This is more screaming, I got to pass this thing.
Maybe time for Wigless.
Yep.
Up at the top of your screen.
He's got off coverage. You got to throw it right now, though. Yep. But see, the problem is you got this safety that's bailing right up there off the top, and then the outside linebacker dropping in coverage.
Harris is going to try to do it on his own. Not to be, and he just ran out of real estate going towards the boundary and was pushed out shy of the necessary yardage. That was Cody Moon again, who's been everywhere. And now you know why they're so high on him. He had 2 incredible games at New Mexico against this San Diego State team. And they had seen enough, and they said, you want to come play here? Would you like to transfer? We got a spot for you. Gianni Spedic again will come in to try this field goal out of Notre Dame Catholic Latin. 40-yard try. Out of the hold of Wheatley. Bad snap. He handled it, though. Nice work by Wheatley on that hold. The hold was the difference there. So credit. Number 24, he made a nice, that's just wonderful work by Wheatley to enable that kick to go through the uprights. Bobcats by 3. Gianni Spedic is 2 for 2. In high school, he was a second-team All-Ohio player, played soccer, basketball, and baseball at a very high level, all conference in that sport. And you know his head coach, Tim Albin, is really happy to see him perform well, and equally so for Wheatley, his holder. He was concerned that special teams was going to be one that would not fall into his winning category, that Browning had a great advantage over them with young kickers.
He certainly wasn't bullish on it when he talked to us, but it's like for the time being, he's in good hands.
Yep, indeed. Here comes Martin Blake with a short kickoff return. Stays upright. Manages the 30-yard line, a quality return. Well, Big Noon Saturday is coming your way. How you likes me now, Coach Prime. Coming to the biggest season opener in college football that we've seen in years, as his Buffaloes faced 17th ranked TCU. Big Noon Saturday on Fox starts next week.
Buffalo Cowboy.
Yes. Dion works in every room.
Yes, sir.
He can work any room as well as many. That's right.
Direct snap.
Yeah, direct snap that time. Bryce Houston takes down Maben. Just a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Yeah, more specifically, direct draw to the quarterback. It's a call decision. No option, no back around him. They intended to go with him. And let's see. Usually when you do that, Tim, you're trying to get an effect. You're trying to get the defense to move a little bit. Let's see what happens.
Second and 9. Maben. Looks like a penalty for holding will bring this one back as he dodges trouble running to the wide side of the field. Shoved out at around the 36-yard line, but this one should come back.
And that's unfortunate, too, because the Aztecs had the defense stuck in what we call a port side charge. That's to the left.
Holding. Offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty, and it remains 2nd down.
Ulugalu Meseuli, the center, tagged with that foul.
So the games or the directions of that defensive front was actually going away from where the play was designed, which is what you want if you're on the offensive side. You see all these white hats go in the opposite direction of where the play wants to go. That's what you want. An outside or port side charge to the left. Let them go.
Backs him up to the 21, 2nd and 19. Cam Davis, 29, the setback.
So he can beat coverage.
Option wide side. He tries to cut it back. Boy, was that well defensed. How about Bryce Houston? You're not going to get too much done going sideline to sideline against that linebacker.
Well, he wears that C on that jersey for a reason. He's a captain. Not only must you be able to lead vocally, but you have to be physical, and you step up and demonstrate it. Man, watch him here. Outside leverage, walking that edge, and then he comes and anchors that outside and contains. That's excellent football right there. Not to be outdone, man. He outplayed that assignment well, big boy.
3rd down and an eternity. We see the pass rush mix for San Diego State. More pressure coming, and maybe just had to get rid of it. That was Rayon Buell, number 0, in his face.
Yeah, Maben couldn't sort out the pressure. Just a 3-man blitz. It was, I mean, that wasn't a blitz technique, just 3 men. He couldn't sort it out, Tim, and as a result of that, he got rid of that ball. So you can see 3 white jerseys. That's all there is. Coverage is what beats you in this situation. He can't see daylight. No one's open. All the backs are covered. Got to get rid of it.
Buell has been all around the United States, out of Cornell, New York, by way here of Northwest Mississippi Community College. Browning to boot it away. Another quality boot. Picked up by Walton, and he has nothing but a step out of bounds in front of him. Well done by Browning. 53 yards on the boot. Oh, up in here.
I see you, baby.
Up in there.
I see you,
It's
Tim.
like Deion's Trans Am when he was at FSU. Up in here. Ooh, I like that. How do you do? And we're back with you. I love that, Mike Hill. The Sarge in midseason form. He's with Bruce Feldman at halftime.
Looking like a master sergeant.
Here's Bangura. He's been very active. He and I think we could safely say O'Shawn Allison have been a good tandem of backs, both playing same number of snaps. He's ahead for just 2 yards on that particular play. 2nd down and 8. It has been C.J. Harris since the injury to Rourke. Cross, Miles Cross with the reception at the 30, stopped by Dallas Branch.
At that cornerback position, we mentioned Dejan Malone earlier, but Branch is another one of those backups right there. Again, had 3 interceptions last year. They're pacing and tempo on him right now, Tim. It's tough for them to get situated. Let's see if the tack stays true.
3rd down 2. Was there any doubt?
Nice.
Harris, he finds Cross. Miles Cross on the quick look in. He's got it into San Diego State territory at the 48, a gain of 22.
Scott Isfordine, the coordinator, sees he's got press coverage on the outside, and a nice move. Cross would have moved it, cross his cover man up, and got open. Nice job of executing off the line of scrimmage to give your quarterback a chance.
Sanguro remains the setback. 1st and 10. Looking on the corner route, and he's got his man Wiggles. Sam Wiggles, who we heard from a lot in the first 6 minutes of the game, first 2 series, has been quiet of late. Out for 11 yards and a 1st down.
I mean, and those last few plays, again, working from left to right, using the whole width and breadth of the field. It's just an excellent job of Scott Isfordine making great plays, decisions based on the fronts. And CJ's not missing a beat, man, at quarterback.
You see Ohio now becoming dominant in statistics. Harris is 4 of 5 for 55. He does not stretch a defense vertically like Rourke, but they're matriculating it down the field, boys. And Bangura does it again. Inside the 25 to the 22, and it's Sedarius Barfield, the free safety, making another tackle, a gain of 14.
Just run where the numbers aren't, right? That nose tackle's playing. You got 2 guys stacked on top of one another. That's zero technique. The nose tackle got to find a way to cover their lanes. Nice.
Harris looking long, cross. Oh, that was catchable. Could not bring it in. Dallas Branch was with him. He had that arm extended, but could not reel it in.
And he had the benefit of the shadow the whole way. It was not like he was going from light to dark, so he had it, just couldn't bring it in. I think that left arm was out there, and a nice little hold on that shoulder right there by Dallas.
Got away with it.
Yeah, he sure did get away with it, but still, that ball is a catchable ball.
Yeah,
got to make that play. He knows it.
CJ wanted the flag, and I understand why. 2nd and 10. Bobcats lead by 3. With the ball with a minute to play in the half.
Got to attack the bottom of the field down here, Tim. They're going to go away from it, though.
Pearl, Walton. Tyler Walton has it at the 19, and Tim Albin gets a very quick timeout. We haven't touched on his pedigree and the time he spent with Frank Solich. And Spencer,
take their second charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
Make no doubt, Tim Albin's association with Solich going all the way back to his days at Nebraska. Probably the worst thing Nebraska ever did was really run Frank Solich out of there too soon. He was a 9-win coach there.
That was a 9-3.
And was a descendant of Tom
9-3.
Osborne, absolutely. Albin goes with him, and then you look at what they've done on this particular drive. They've been very effective. And this is yet another example of what Harris can do when he's in the game.
Yeah, and man coverage, too. And it doesn't really matter. You got a big guy in cross who can make a catch and get down the field. And Wiggless is next on the out cut here. That one's into the bright lights. A nice job of understanding where he is on the field. And I have to go back to Scott Isdovring, the offensive coordinator. He's the one that's taking advantage of where the setup is, understanding, having watched game tape to understand what he's looking at from a defensive standpoint. Just a brilliant job on his part.
Well, listen, this young man, Gianni Spedic, has been on the money, but they'd love to leave him on the sidelines on this drive and cash in. The size and strength of that forward wall of Ohio U, and it is larger than San Diego State, can make a difference.
Boy, you got an outside release up top, number 4 number, single high safety. If he throws this, it's a touchdown. You got to get that outside release up top in the 20. He's going for it.
Harris underneath, it's intercepted. Taken out of the air by Cedarius Barfield.
What a mistake. Tim, under no circumstances should he have come here. He had the isolated look up top and versus a single safety look, and he threw it into the numbers of a bunch. Just a poor decision. I can guarantee you that wasn't a call play from the sideline. It was just a bad choice by CJ.
Yeah, he knew it right away.
Yep. Oh.
You look at the total yards in the game so far, Spencer, and it's beginning to mount. Ohio U has really dominated, between the 20s. But look at that, 209 to 84, yet they're only up 3. And we really thought this would be a high-scoring game. It looks as though these defenses were really well coached and prepared for their opener. Maben, that pass is caught at the 49 by Mekhi Shaw.
See, now you're starting to see some of the impact.
Marker down. We do have a marker down. Thrown in an area where we could have holding or maybe roughing the passer. And I believe it's the latter rather than the former.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 28. The 15-yard penalty added to the run. Automatic first down.
In real time, I thought this was a catch. 1 foot in, all you need. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. I thought he had it.
Yeah, it may be there.
He turned his foot. Here comes the late hit.
Shane Bonner's going to get hits from this jack position. He's the one that gets in there with that right shoulder, Tim, a little bit too late.
Well, the replay booth has had plenty of time to look, see if they stop play and take a look at it. It is close, but I thought he did a nice job of adjusting that left foot to make absolutely certain.
It's a better shot right here. It's tough, man, to see that.
The catch is under further review.
Yeah.
I think this is the best angle we're going to get right here.
Yep.
Tim, I think that's in.
I do too. I don't think you can change it.
It's kind of like the second cut on number 16. That lip is up just a little bit higher. You can see it.
Yeah. Well, as you might expect, trying to get to any half without hearing from Dean Blandino or Mike Pereira can sometimes be a challenge.
Let's hear from him.
We had the over on Dino getting more than one opportunity in the first half. Let's go to Dino back in our studios.
I'm just excited to be back, and I get to spend my first game with Timmy B and Spencer, so I am so happy. While they take a look at this tight catch, really close. We had a couple of sideline shots. It's the left foot at the sideline, and you can see Shaw. He's going to get control. And it's that left foot, and I don't see anything definitive. The ruling on the field was a catch, and to me, this has to stand. You're looking for the foot to be actually in the white, and I just don't see it.
in real time, Dean, I had it as a catch, and I must say about Snapdragon Stadium, our location, our broadcast position, there are a lot of people constructing new stadiums for college football that can learn a few things from San Diego. What
That's a further review. Calling the field stands. First down.
Well,
Dino nailed it right out of the box.
He's
right?
1 for 1, and so are we. We're happy to be with you too, Dino. I remember when he used to come on the road with us. Headed down to Purdue about 5 years ago, as I recall. You know, there are 4 new coaches in the Big Ten this year.
How about that, man?
A lot of new faces in that league.
Here's a nice formation. Tight bunch, Tim. Let's see if they can confuse some people. Oh, they were in there. They caught them with the numbers.
Yeah, they did.
Ohio will take the third and final timeout of the half.
Yeah,
30 seconds.
Perotti, number 4, was not going to make it in time, and they were forced to call the timeout.
Yep, Spencer Winsky.
He was running a gasser. Watch the top of your screen. That is what we call a gasser.
Man. Yes, sir. He'll be running a couple of more, too, probably.
Yeah. Roman Perotti, Cardinal Gibbons High School.
There's a football man right there, man.
Big time. Love it.
Football man.
Really enjoyed our conversation. And by the way, loves the Trans Am. This defense for San Diego State has been ferocious, and they've turned it over too. That's been the key, is forcing opportunities taken away, and inside the red zone, Spencer, 2 big stops.
Well, they really are, and again, it comes when you're not necessarily in a pressure look. 3-man games have been effective, and certainly when they came out with 5 or more, able to disrupt the quarterback, create turnovers, interception there as a result of the pressure, and then ill-advised passes. Probably should have thrown that ball across the field.
See how they manage the clock now.
Nice.
Underneath, that's Kristen.
He's a beast.
Look at him go.
You're going to be holding, Timmy.
Got another flag down.
And that's unfortunate, too, because you couldn't have called a better call against that pressure.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard play from the spot of the foul. It'll remain first down.
Dean Abdullah, junior from Antelope, California, the right guard. So now we're down to 35 seconds. San Diego State with 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Neither do I. That pass is caught. It's Balin Brooks, a freshman from Pasadena. 30 seconds left. Still 2 timeouts remaining. Move the chains. 5'11" for 39 for Maiden. You know, he's just workmanlike. This kid's not going to startle you with his stats, but he's a gamer, and he's the kind of tough guy that this program needs at this stage. They do rely on their defense first, want to control the ball offensively.
Uh-oh.
Out of the gun, Maven. Looking long and overthrows this man. It was right there. Brooks was wide open. He'd love to have that one back.
A late developing what we call drive concept, Tim, coming across the field. And that little twins look got the corner and the safety out of the mix so they can get that little quarter point by the hash open. They got it. Takes a little bit of time to protect that, but that's where the inexperience of a quarterback that needs to continue to develop his throw game needs to come into play.
Don't you know a guy like Lindley or Brian Sipe, who helped Lindley, was also a great player here at San Diego
Prolific.
State. They look at a guy that open, you just got to get it into the pocket. 2nd and 10.
Nice.
Screen.
Wait.
Look out. There goes Redmond. He's down to the 10. All Mountain West, 2nd teamer a year ago, preseason. All Mountain West this year, Mackey watch list.
San Diego State will take their first charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds. Please just set the game clock to 16 seconds. 1-6.
Well, they've been nailing the timing on these draw plays and then the screens and things of that nature. Vonnie Watkins, 17, eventually gets in there. But this op works just like an option. The guy's about to touch. You had 2 in your face. You get rid of it. You better believe you're going to have a numbers advantage on the back end of that. As I said, Vonnie Watkins gets in there as Coach Hunt was looking on. And he's got to look at how his team has navigated down the football field to get in this position.
Spencer, you got 2 looks, don't you? They're going to mark it now at the 11, but you got 2 shots at the end zone, you'd think. 14 seconds, 2 shots, and you got timeouts left that you can use to talk it over, so there's no need to rush here.
Yeah, you don't have to rush, but I think this is probably the biggest defensive call of the game right now. And here's why, Tim. If you're looking at that corner, where do you want to go? You're on the right hash. You want to take advantage of the widest side of the field. But here's the problem. You're in shade right now. If you try to do anything over the top of that corner, that receiver's going to have to adjust to the light in his face. It's going to be really difficult. So now you got to work in this condensed area over here. They're still going to try it with this trip set to the left. Let's see if they can execute.
Watch for the tight end again at the lower portion of your screen. 81 Redmond. Maben in trouble. Got to get rid of it or get out of bounds. And he does. And that'll stop the clock. They'll take a loss. With 11 seconds left, you still get a second shot at the end zone before you take it in it. Listen, you just saw a field goal from the right hash that was pushed. So if you're going to go for a field goal, you better get it somehow, some way closer to the center of the field.
Yeah, this takes so much discipline if you're Ryan Lindley, the offensive coordinator, who was such a prolific passer here. You're so tempted. Now they're going with the twins look. It's still 3 receivers. Got to protect here. It's going to take you a minute to get this one out.
Maben with time.
Nice.
For the tight end, incomplete. He was looking for Redmond. Great coverage, and they were physical with him, weren't they? I mean, they converged so quickly. That's Brawley 21, and he had plenty of help.
Well, this is a slight adjustment. No surprise what they're going to do down here. Right, Andy Ludwig is the influence of this offensive scheme right now. Ryan Lindley learned so much for him in this 2 tight end arrangement.
That's both safeties, Spencer. Brawley and Reynolds, Walter Reynolds, that were right there with the big tight end. That's a well-scouted defense. 6 seconds left. Got to be quick.
Nice.
There he is. Touchdown. Right on cue. Mark Redmond. Hammerhead brings it in for the touchdown.
Well, the senior transfer, all 6'6", 250 pounds of him. I don't know why no one's over the top of him, right? They're going to play zone coverage behind him. That's Austin Brawley, the strong safety behind him. That's a mismatch big time. He's only 177 pounds. How do you expect him to cover your tight end? That's tough, man.
Well, I know you've been watching some college football today already. Safe to say, as we hit the intermission, this is the best half of football we have seen on week 0. So competitive. And finally, a team pierces the end zone. Courtesy the tight end Redmond. Coming up next, the State Farm halftime show. It's Mike Hill. It's Bruce Feldman. It's college football. It's on FS1.
Man, it's always hype. Welcome to the State Farm halftime show inside our LA studios. That is Bruce Feldman. I am Mike Hill. So, Bruce.
It's day 1. It might be week 0, but 0 means a lot to the players, the coaches, and these teams. And we are underway. We welcome you back to San Diego. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman. We're concerned about Curtis Rourke. We'll find out about Mr. Rourke as soon as we possibly can. But Spencer, I know you got some snapshots for me.
Well, if you're a football purist, you're absolutely loving the first half of what we saw. This snapshot right here was all about the defense, right? Curtis Rourke goes out because of the pressure that's in his face. A wonderful job of frequent pressure consistently on your 3,000-yard passer. The defense shut down the throw game, and that's what made possible for Rourke to go out. Harris comes in, and then Redmond comes in and takes advantage of it. Love the matchup against those smaller defensive backs back there. The tight end game, man. It's 12 personnel coming in. They're doing a wonderful job with the Aztecs, taking advantage. It is a conservative game to be sure, Tim, but at the end of the day, This is what football is all about.
Team comparison sponsored by Credible, the MVP of loan shopping. Check rates on Credible.com today. You see the total yards, and really most of that 135 to catch up happened in the last 5 minutes of the first half for San Diego State. Here's the kick to Wilburn, and Keegan Wilburn is
doctor
is on the ground. But it does appear that he was ruled down by contact. And boy, Devon Celestine with a huge hit.
That might have been Jatavius McGee, man, coming down on cover teams. And who else was involved in that?
31 made the tackle.
Was that Devon Celestine?
Yes, Celestine made the stop. Yes, did a wonderful job. And the old special teamer that is Spencer Tillman, captain along with Montana and Ronnie Lott in that Super Bowl in 1990, loves to see that.
Man, it's all about it. Give him good field position in that particular case. Denied great field position. Special teams, that's 1/3 of it, man. These two teams appreciate that aspect of the game.
Hope made it clear that he wants special teams to be a winning combination. And there's a huge hit by Fiuseu. Cyrus coming in, number 6, to make that stop. There's the quarterback comparison of Rourke and Harris, who did make that really poor judgment late. And that turnover led to what would be a touchdown on the final play of the first half. And we are efforting as best we can information on the status of Rourke, who did come back out under his own power, but we have nothing official on him, hoping for info to trickle in. But CJ right now looks to be going the rest of the way.
Wow.
Nice. Beautiful crossing pattern to Kazmarek. That's Will Kazmarek, youngster out of the Institute of St. Louis. Redshirt sophomore with his first catch.
You know, Fiuseu was kind of exposed on that time. He obviously had to stop on the previous play, but they had him in a nice coverage scenario zone and got inside of him and completed a nice catch.
Bangura wins the setback. Harris is pressured and has to unload, incomplete.
I think Harris is going to find most of his opportunities if he stays inside that pocket, because Shedrick Rose and company, Jay Embury on the other side opposite of him, have had a tough time containing this rush of this undersized but very active Aztec front. Along with their linebackers, they can get to the quarterback and disrupt.
It's Jay Embury, the left tackle, along with Rhodes, the two under the gun from this very quick defensive front that we've been discussing, that Kurt Maddox has, the defensive coordinator for this Aztecs football team. 2nd and 10. Bangura. A yard, maybe 2. We'll give him 2 yards.
Unfortunately, this is turning into one of those minimalist kind of affairs. That little late stem that you saw on the Aztecs front, it didn't really change the structure of the defense, yet they ran right into the teeth of it, Tim. Usually when there's movement, your quarterback, if he's experienced, he's going to move away from where the numbers advantage is created. And in that particular case, there was none.
3rd and 8.
Soft spot right in the middle, but it's 3rd down, so they got to throw it.
Harris lets it fly.
Nice.
Wigless comes away with it for the first down at the 48-yard line.
Well, the middle of the field, that was it. You know, you can see it from up here. As you pointed out, Tim, our perspective is so great. We can see exactly great lines, splits, and everything so perfectly. Well-designed stadium layout makes our job easy.
Bangura remains the setback. They go full wide. 3-step drop, looking for Wigless deep.
That'll be a flag.
A little push, but no whistle. Nope. Wow. Sedarius Barfield has gotten away with a little jousting. That ball may have been deemed uncatchable.
Yeah, perhaps so.
We'll see.
CJ, got what he wanted. You know, was man coverage on the outside. Nice little checkup route underneath to isolate the one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, if that ball's a little bit closer, Spence, I think that might have drawn a flag.
Sedarius Barfield is on the wide side for a reason. He's the wide side of the field. That means he's more athletic than the opposite side.
Trips to the top of your screen. 2nd down, 10.
Got a little light in their face. Let's see if they can adjust to this. Run.
A quarterback draw for Harris. Using his speed. And he jitterbugs out at the 46-yard line. You know, this young man has had really limited experience before a year ago. He redshirted in 21, played in one game in 2020, the COVID year. But, I mean, he was called upon at a time when this team was sizzling. They were on their way. And the performance in the MAC title game belied what he was able to do in the Arizona Bowl. 3rd down and 4. They're 3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. There he is. Pass was behind Wigless, but he made the adjustment, reeled it in for the 1st down.
Well, you see the athleticism of Wigless. That ball was put on his back shoulder. Didn't give him a chance to really catch it and run with it. But he made the adjustment by stopping. CJ throws it, but it's on that back shoulder. Great mitts by Wigless on that catch.
And that was a conversion. Josh Hunter, the free safety, freshman out of Temecula, California, was running him down, and
from that legendary Matter Day.
That's right. I gotta take my helmet off and get back to the sidelines, but we got the 1st down.
Yep.
Burrows ahead to the 37-yard line for 3. Arian Dalton, 97, with the stop. This guy brings a lot of energy, Dalton, when he comes in for Alu Alu.
Well, again, they're undersized, Tim, but nobody's ever going to accuse him of not being active. That's for sure.
They'll go 3 deep.
They'll travel. They'll travel 10 of them. That it's not so much that they are fine for playing time. They're just undersized, and they know they got to find some solutions.
Maddox says, play with their hair on fire. I had my hair on fire after we met with him. That out pattern is incomplete, intended for Miles Cross.
How about Fiesu coming here, Tim, in the middle linebacker. Watch the block here. Catches up in the air, and Allison just jacks him up. Hey, bring that back down there, big boy. Nothing really good happens when you leave your feet, Tim.
And Bergie
doesn't matter where you are.
And Bergie said, well, I'll just lift you. A little more time in the weight room. Well, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. Let's see what happens here.
Well, they better not run to the right. They got to come back down. Oh, they're going to shift it inside.
O'Shawn Allison. O'Shawn, look at him go. He may have the 1st down. What a tough inside run by O'Shawn Allison. Finally brought down by Coffey III, J.D. Coffey, the Texas transfer, after a 7-yard gain. And a 1st down.
He started downhill to go to his left, and then he bent this thing back. Because originally he would have been running into the teeth of the numbers. Just a great job of creating in real time an opportunity to make a play.
Just a great history of running backs in Ohio University's annals historically, and this could be another tandem. There's Wigless. He's there. Pass is just overthrown. Barfield was beaten. He was beaten by a couple of steps.
I'll tell you, Cooper McDonald kind of got away with a little bit here. Watch Cooper McDonald, number 55, with the hands, crossover arm move, and then and a little lift here.
Yeah, that could have been a flag.
Yeah, sure could have.
Wigless gave it his all. I mean, he laid out for it, but could not bring it in. 2nd and 10. Cross is now at the bottom of your screen. Remember, no Jacoby Jones for this game. He was a game-time decision and simply couldn't go. Harris, his own number called again. Flags down, he's down.
And that's unfortunate, Tim.
Cooper McDonald, the tackle, and yes, this was thrown in an area where holding would be the call.
What makes this a difficult play to swallow is because Garrett Fountain, number 39, the defensive end, moves up the field and vacates the space where the play eventually winds up running.
Holding. Offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty. And it'll remain 2nd down.
Parker Titz worked on that. Let's see what happens here. Nope.
There he is.
There he is. So he's got that left arm. He won't let go.
Parker Titsworth.
And Darian Dalton is trying to get the arm over move, and he's reaching out. It can't go. So that lets the official see, hey, look, somebody's holding him. He's not moonwalking.
He is, with a big offensive front, he is noticeably undersized at center, but he's vital to this offense, Titsworth, the center. Harris, quick look in, incomplete. That's Kasmerick, the intended receiver.
Is that Cody Moon down there working?
Again, yeah, he's been all over the place.
Just a nice job of using those long arms that he has. He's 6'3", man, got good range. Redshirt junior transfer, showing you that ability. Look at that arm over, right?
Yeah.
It's just excellent technique right
and
there.
Really smart not to commit a penalty here. You know, he waited. Well, on third down, Ohio U, the first half they were 2 out of 6. On this drive, they're 3 for 3. This one a little more difficult, though. 3rd and 19.
It's a Dwight twins look. Let's see what they do with this to the left side here. They're going to go away to the field.
Harris.
Nice.
Oh, look out. That's Walton. He has the first down. That first move after he made the catch, and defensively, that left Malone just diving for air.
Yeah, here's a duel of fours right here. Here's a quad for you. The nice little catch, and then upfield, and then he gets back vertical again really quick. Nice job of using the sideline to your advantage. Again, coming out of that shade, that lit area into the shaded area. Left shot with that little nice sweet towel in his hand, baby. That's all you can get with him.
Big up of 20. Here they go.
Nice,
Harris,
nice.
cross in the corner.
Oh.
Incomplete. Boy, that's 2 on this drive. They've been wide open in the end zone, and Harris just a little too strong with both passes. One beyond the outstretched arms of Wiggless, and this one Miles Cross.
She put her Superman cape on that time, Timmy. Probably just sort of adjusted a little bit, maybe a little bit too much
air underneath it.
Well, it wasn't the air. I just thought he put too much in the effort to catch it. He just turn around and catch that ball. I mean, you got to dive for it, yeah, but I think he put a little extra something on the back end of it.
I got you. O'Shawn Allison back in the backfield. Bryce Butler is in at tight end. He's in the slot left 14. Allison keeps those legs churning down to the 15. And that gives him a more manageable 3rd and 6, a gain of 4.
There again, Dijon Malone again, man, he's so active. Those guys are so small, Tim, as you pointed out. Now, he's got some size on him. He's about 200 pounds, but these guys are not afraid to get up there and put their nose in it. Kirk Maddox talked about, the defensive coordinator talked about how tenacious his guys are.
Yep. They've been bend but don't break, but they have given up 4 for 3rd down conversions in what has been a 7-minute drive to open this half. 3rd down 6. Van Gura back in. So reverse. Coming the other way, Tyler Walton. And San Diego State was ready. And how?
So Darius Barfield, the field will, and there's a reason why they put that F on him. The field means he's got some speed, and he's going to take advantage of the wide side of the field. That's why he's there, because of his speed. Watch him reverse his field coming back the opposite direction. Number 3. You see all that field? Watch him redirect himself, and he's got enough recovery speed to take the field away from a guy. And that's a great athleticism. I think more importantly, Kirk Maddox knows his personnel. He's got his most fleet of foot athletes to that wide side for a reason. They can run.
His defense stiffens yet again. Ohio U for a field goal of 31.
Oh,
this
nice
one was badly hooked. Well, that was a concern. That was a major concern coming in.
Chris Johnson was screaming off that outside, man.
Whitley could not get the ball spun. That's what caused the missed field goal. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Hampton by Hilton for the stay. Well, Spencer, we talk so often about special teams, and it hurt this time.
Yep, a little arsenic and no lace.
Yeah.
That lace didn't go that way. It went the opposite direction. That's the problem.
Maben leading San Diego State throughout this game, throws that one away. Outstanding defense by Ohio U. They had a wonderful drive, came up with nothing. Bryce Houston forced Maben to get rid of that ball. Number 32, he's been all over the place tonight. And Maben 8 for 17, 85 yards. Got that important touchdown to his tight end, Mark Redmond, on the final play of the first half to give San Diego State this 4-point lead. Keenan Kristen in the backfield on 2nd and 10. And he is spun down shy of the 20 by Houston again. Man, he is playing with some passion out of Olentangy Orange High School.
Well, these tight ends really get after you. Watch 86 come over on the wham block, Tim, on the outside. Again, they're just hunting up bodies. They're looking for somebody to block. Excellent job of executing in these little tight quarters. Brandon Harpole there.
Graduate player out of Lewis Center, Ohio, and I just love the fact that he went to Olentangy.
Oh, they were Olentangy.
I got a little Keith Jackson in there. On the banks of the Olentangy. 3rd down 10. San Diego State 3 out of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Maben looking long, going to stretch him this time.
A little contact.
And some contact allowed. Perotti was riding him hard. There was contact, yes. And he did a good job there, Spencer, of allowing the boundary to be an extra defender.
Well, that's been a theme, and they've been consistent, letting those guys get a little contact downfield. That's
yeah, there's our defensive coordinator, Spence Nowinski. Well, what a fun guy he was to chat with.
Great.
Division III player. He coached that Illinois State team that played for the Division II title in 2015. He goes way, way back with Albin.
And he's another football coach, too. Zero-sum, man.
Yep. High punt, spiraling.
Nice job.
Walton getting away from San Diego State special teams. That's a quality return.
Yeah.
He looked to be smothered. 52-yard boot, 15-yard return.
Nice little slight move, Tim, in space. Yeah, that's a smile on your face. No, he did. He benefited from canceled joint practices with the Saints this week, but he's coming along. He's got some problems, recognizing some things, but I think he's going to be all right long term.
Misses those hash marks in college, huh?
Yep. And, oh, doctor, you just nailed it right there, Tim.
Here's Harris on 1st down. Wiggless on the crossing pattern. Man.
Well, Wiggless has so much confidence, man. There's a lot of traffic in the middle of that field. And believe me, before he made that break, he saw that safety sitting there, and he had the courage of his convictions to continue on his route.
If there's a place in the NFL for Hunter Renfrow, there's a place in the NFL for this kid. I mean, there is. Guys like that are always open and always make the catch. We've seen it before, haven't we?
Yep.
Bandura.
Popping, man.
Ahead for 2. Be 2nd and 8. This is just a precise route.
Yeah, it's trips looks. He's on the inside, so you know there's people around him. See, he sorts it out, gets past the first guy, takes a peek inside. You got crossers crossing his face. I mean, they're buzzing around. Those linebackers going hook, flat, curl. They got their assignments underneath. He says, okay, I know it's crowded in there. If I get it, put it in my watch pocket, I'm going to catch it. That guy right there, I love that spirit, man.
2nd down and 8 for C.J. Harris. Trying to guide his team yet again after a Rourke injury.
Uh-oh.
Pass incomplete.
That's a dangerous pass.
Yeah, it sure was. I thought for a moment that Noah Tumblin, number 10 there, the true senior, might get there too soon or might overcommit and try for the pick. He waited and was really smart here.
Well, he was driving on this ball, and I'm not sure why he didn't jump it. I mean, I understand he's got the sideline as his friend, so the chance of that ball getting beyond him is rare. Yeah. He could have taken the risk and jumped that route.
3rd down and 8. Harris running out of time. A lot of pressure from McDonald. Cooper McDonald, the senior from Hazlet, Texas. Former linebacker who switched to defensive end a year ago. Been battling an elbow injury, but boy, oh boy, he's been tough in this one.
This is an inside look here, and you can see Maddox from the outside. But what made that possible, that arm over move, it's an upfield, what we call an ET stunt, the end tackle, or in this particular case, it's Sam, going back underneath them. They swap responsibilities. But the coverage on the back end, Tim, had the cornerbacks in what we call a camp technique. Eyeballs on the quarterback, nowhere to go early.
Yeah, last time I heard of ET, he went home. Or at least was phoning home. Yeah. Flag's down. Looks like we've got a flag. The guys in the truck are giving me a really rough time about my humor there on ET.
Remain 4th down.
Won't be the last time they give me problems with my humor.
It's all in love, brother.
I mean, I've heard you say a lot of things for the first time. I'd never heard ET before. I'm just, sorry.
In tackle.
With all this news out there about, all the flying objects in the air these days, you just made me kind of go all over the place with that. 4th and 13. Wheatley to beat it away. A high, tight spiral. Shaw with a fair catch at the 18. You don't want to be at the Improv performing when Jake Jolivet and Dustin Denny are in the office. I mean, those guys they'll howl. The late George Carlin would be booed by those guys. San Diego State's all-time leading passer, Ryan Lindley, has taken over as offensive coordinator. Quarterback from 08 to 11, 12,690 career passing yards, 90 touchdowns, both most in program history. And that says a lot when you consider the history of quarterbacking at San Diego State.
Well, he's managed to attenuate his game, and he's adopted this more conservative style and said, hey, look, there's more ways to skin a cat, man.
Jalen Armstead in the backfield, and there he goes. Right up the gut. Number 2, picking them up and putting them down. Finally out of bounds. Justin Burchett finally shoved him out.
Well, that run will cut into that 26-minute, 38-second, to 13-minute and 41-second time disadvantage. Got the Aztecs 100 for a minute. 48-yard run. That's nice. That'll get some yards up.
How about this formation? And it's Armstead. What a hit. Little head knocking going on down there, Spencer T. As Brawley received a blow, but did manage to get Armstead down. Watch this right
Low
here.
man wins. She had her high heels on.
Big time.
She went back.
That was a little pedal pushing right there.
Let's hear this one in real speed. Hit him like you owe the money, Tim. Hit him like they owe the money.
First down 10. Yeah, he's lathered up. Let him tote it.
Oh, my God.
Let him tote it. 5'11" junior, Sarah High School, out of Los Angeles, 7-yard gain. And Mr. Lindley is saying, we can get it done on the ground just as easily as in the air.
Look how staid he is, man. Just so calm right now. Understands the game so well. Embracing exactly what Brady Hope wants to do.
Really loved our conversation with him. He worked with Al Borges, came up under Al Borges here. Freddie Kitchens had him in Cleveland. Brian Sipe was a strong influence, and of course,
Andy Ludwig.
Yep. Andy Ludwig, the main man, winning the most. Now at Utah.
That'd be a flag.
Armstead dumped with the marker down. And it was Austin Brawley once again that made the stop. And slow to get up and favoring that knee is Jalen Armstead.
Brawley was grabbing Adonis Williams Jr. there.
He doesn't want to go down. He's trying to make it back to the sidelines on his own. The get down coach is always telling guys, get down, get down. He doesn't want to go down. Does get some help.
That's a pride thing, man.
They got a bevy of backs too now. We've seen a lot of Kristen, obviously, the USC transfer. Cam Davis.
Holding. Offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
And Martin Blake has also been utilized. We'll take a look at the hold here by Mark Redmond, the tight end. There he is on Williams, 22.
He's got that arm cupped underneath there, and Adonis Williams is trying to get off the block, and he can't. When a guy is trying to separate from you, and he's got an opposite color jersey on, and here's Armstead taking a knock right there, and boy, that's a tough, right on top of the crown of the helmet.
And he wasn't favoring the head. That's the good news. but he was really slow to get back up. 2nd and 13 now for the Aztecs. Critical stage now defensively for Ohio.
Absolutely, because the drives have become exponentially longer.
Yeah.
Possessions come at a premium.
That's Blake on a play fake, and the pass is complete to Brooks.
Great job by Brooks at the end of that route, Timmy. Just a little subtle move to protect himself, but also to get as much yards as he possibly could.
Yeah, managed to get 7.
Yep.
Making.
Watch this laser. That slight little move right there. Donis is zeroing in on him, and it just does miss him.
3rd down and 6. They bring the heavy lifters in. Rodney Matthews has come back in. All 310 pounds of him out of Memphis, Tennessee. Junior college transfer from Hutchinson Community College. Number 5, right over center. Here he comes, bull rushing, passes.
Nice. Oh, the turf monster got
it
it.
would have been a first down had he not allowed the turf to become a monster. Jay Rudolph stumbled shortly after making that catch, and it will be 4th down. And that's 2 yards. That's 4th. We're saying 1, but it's a long one. More like 2.
We call this the turf monster here. There's nobody around you. He just caught the turf, and he goes down, man.
We'll call it a long one.
And he catches that ball, Tim, and not continues on, but gets straight up the field.
Yeah.
He probably scores.
Yeah, and this is a really good timeout, I think, by Brady Hope, because your offense is now moving the ball on the ground very well.
We'll take the first charge timeout of the half.
We'll see what they come up with. They obviously could choose the 3 with Browning, but here's the catch, Spencer T. 22. San Diego State converted 75% of 4th downs, 15 out of 20, which was 3rd in the entire country. Only Georgia at 87% and Michigan at 81 were higher. Well, here we are. It is 4th down and a long, and I do mean long one. Brady seems cool. Let's see what he's got in his hip pocket. Armstead's back in the game after leaving with an injury a moment ago. It is Armstead. And he has the first down. Little delay action, and it worked to perfection. Rodney Matthews, number 5, and Bryce Houston collaborate for Ohio.
Boy, not a bigger timeout in this game right there. That's the most significant play of the game, in my opinion, given how the game is slowed down and these possessions have become tough to come by. That guy right there is a good football coach, man, and he does it the conservative way. There's no question about it.
Well, Spencer, I think both of us felt that both offenses would be really, really good in this opener. In truth, it's not first 1 to 40.
Nope.
It's first 1 to 14.
Well, remember the question we asked Lindley? We'll unpack that here in a second.
Yep. Option look. Maben cuts it back up.
That's excellent right there now.
Down to the 6-yard line. Stopped by Vonnie Watkins, number 17. Lead me in, Coach.
You're going to leave me in?
Brady digging
That's
it.
awesome.
By the way, we should mention, I told this to Brady when we went in. I had not seen him since his days in Michigan. I said, you lost an entire Hulk. He's lost about 80, 90 pounds since his days at Michigan. Looks great. Got that nice San Diego tan. Looking good. And very much at home.
Living clean.
We've come to the end of 3. Get the percussion section ready. 4th quarter is yet to come. Time to toot your horn. College football is here. FS1 College Football is sponsored by Hampton by Hilton for the stay. As we open the 4th, San Diego State on the doorstep yet again of making it a 2-score game. And the way this game has played out, particularly after the Rourke injury early, Spencer, I would suggest Ohio keep them out of the end zone and force a field goal. 2 scores might be a lot to overcome.
Yep, possessions coming at a premium from this point forward.
2nd down and 5. Just in the setback, he'll lead Maben, and he is dumped at the 3. A very physical and fast approaching secondary up to make that stop on him.
That was an interesting call, Tim. That was essentially a student body right call.
It was.
Draw called to the quarterback and 3 linemen pulling to the short side of the field and to the boundary. They're turning this into a bar fight.
Excellent work by Bryce Houston again. He's got to be up around, 18 to 20 tackles and maybe 12 solo. He's been all over the place tonight.
Well, he's one of the 2 leading tackles from a year ago, so he's earning his keep.
3rd and 2. Armstead now dots the I for San Diego State. There he goes. Nothing doing, and Houston right there to get him. He's the first to wrap him up, and he had plenty of help.
And I'll tell you what, Jay Rudolph was a tight end. They got kind of driven back there in that particular situation, and but for that, Tim, he probably would have gotten more yards. He's not having a good last 2 series as Jay Rudolph.
Well, it's not been a good night. Let's be honest. It's not been a good night for Maben throwing the football. His confidence really hasn't been there. He's completed some balls, don't get me wrong, but most of them have been underneath. And clearly, this game's going to be won by defense, and Hoax decided to play it conservatively. This is a 21-yard field goal for Browning, and he got it. But that's big for the Bobcats because they managed to stay 1 score behind.
Yep. Well, I think the thing is the Aztecs know who they are. You remember I asked Ryan Lindley what makes for a great offense, and he paused for a minute, then he said consistency.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He knows who they are, Timmy. They're not a prolific offense. Right. They're going to run the ball. They're going to make sure that they take care of that first of all. But what makes an offensive dangerous is their capability of being explosive. That's what keeps teams honest from a numbers standpoint, and that's what they're yet to develop. And
to Ryan Lindley's credit, because he spent so much time as an assistant coach on the defensive side, he understands what Brady Hoke is thinking, and he and Kurt Maddox, they get along beautifully. And this is home for Ryan Lindley, and I know he's thinking, listen, we got to win a certain way. We've seen great offensive coaches know that at times they've got to win with their defense rather than their offense. But it takes for the Baltimore Ravens when they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but here's Maddox right here, Tim, with the right of screen there. He's such a dynamic personality, and you're right, they do play complementary football here. Both sides of the ball understand, look, this is our best chance to win. We understand what our history is. We've been celebrating Narn Carial and all of the wide open attacks that define this program. But today, with Brady Hoke here, it's about ball control, using the run to set up the pass, and everybody's bought in.
Keegan Wilburn is back deep. Browning with another beautiful boot, but he'll take it at the 3. Wilburn finally run down at the 32, maybe the 33, so a quality return. Stop made by Arnold Escano. And early on, Rourke showed his toughness with the option. He really got off to a quick start, but right here, when he had to duck under the blitz, he tweaked that ACL injury enough to take himself out of the game. And then after taking a long look at him in the locker room, we've gotten no report that he is badly injured, but we also haven't gotten any indication that he's going to come back in. It looks to be C.J. Harris's game the rest of the way. O'Shawn Allison in the backfield. Play fake, Harris for Wiggles. Short of the first down, it would appear, but maybe a
Noah Tumblin defending on that play, and a nice little out cut. Let's see if they move the ball down with any intentionality, Tim.
He has missed some open receivers deep. Wiggles now with 9 receptions for 88 yards to lead the way for the Bobcats. Allison wrapped up behind the line. Loss of about maybe a half yard.
That's Cody Moon again. You're a guy, man. He's stepping up and took that outside cut away.
Yep, sure did.
He really took that outside bounce away, and Cody's stepping in and understanding how to play and field with integrity. This is a run gap orient, as are most defenses are. They're gap control. Be where you're supposed to be. Don't get moved.
Here's a run pass conflict, right?
Yep, 3rd and short. What are they going to do? I can run it to the right. Yeah, he's scooting up a little bit. He's going to turn around and hand it. Oh, no, he's going to Wow,
It was a conflict, and it's knocked away incomplete. Well covered. Walton, the intended receiver, and Tomlin with the defensive play.
Tim, we've been talking so much about the Aztecs and understanding who they are. Bobcats got to know who they are as well. You know, you don't have a Jacoby Jones in there, a big body guy that can win that battle. You call him a possession guy if you want to. The bottom line is those matchups exist for a reason. That's the second questionable call of tonight, or decision, I should say, by the quarterback.
Jared Wheatley to punt it away with High Shaw back deep. Fair catch at the 20. San Diego State with a chance to see that clock go tick, 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 tick. As a small ball is in vogue here in San Diego. No, they've even got great fish down here too, as you well know.
Absolutely.
We took some in last night. Brett Bender knew where to go, our spotter. But the tacos are out. By the way, San Diego State, their last drive was 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Spencer, if they can hold it that long, Ohio may only have one more possession tonight.
Yep.
There's Kristen. You know, if they can continue to carve them up and get 4 or 5 yards at a chunk. Perotti makes the stop that time of Keenan Kristen. Madison High School, San Diego, California. Second down and 5 coming up. It's a very big, you know, we said it last time. San Diego State had a chance to get in the end zone, make it a 2-score game. That they didn't was great for the Bobcats, but they got to get a stop here and get one quickly.
Yeah, that last drive was 6:09. That was a bit of an outlier. The previous 6 was 1 minute and 39 was the average, Tim. So that's an outlier. That means that if the Aztecs can burn another 5.5 minutes, Bobcats are going to get it back one more time. They're going to be under pressure to score a touchdown.
That's a great catch by Redmond. That's just a wonderful individual effort on the part of 81, who has the lone touchdown of the day.
Excellent body control on the sideline. He demonstrated that with a nice 11-yard gain.
Transfer from Washington. Spent 2 outstanding years there. Talk about a team to watch in the Pac-12 this year in their perhaps swan song season.
Right.
Kristen barrels ahead to the 39-yard line, 41-yard line, I beg your pardon. Stopped by Burchett.
No hurry. They're going to take their time up to a certain point.
Yeah.
They're still huddling. That lets you know that they're not in any rush.
No. This is like watching a Kansas State offense. Take your time, move it along, don't beat yourself. Chris Kleinman ball.
Yeah.
That's a team I think you need to watch out for in the Big 12 this year.
Yeah.
They could repeat.
Nice job.
Off the blitz, an open Redmond, he's got it. Boy, what a nice read by Maben. He saw the corner blitz coming, knew he had his tight end in a mismatch on the crossing pattern.
I'll tell you, the unsung hero here is Christian Jones, the left tackle. Watch number 70. The threat is coming his way on the edge. The crossing sees the outside blitz and whoop, just pushes him just enough to allow the quarterback maybe to get that ball released and completed. Excellent job. Yeoman's work by the big tackle out there. All 6'9", 320 pounds out of San Luis
Obispo. St. Louis Obispo. Yes, indeed. Beautiful town. 23-yard gain. He's now got 4 catches for 58 yards. Redmond. That pass is a beauty. And under duress completed to Breon Penny. His first reception. Young man from Narbonne High School in Norwalk, California.
And he did that under pressure, Tim. King Thompson was, number 38 was in his face. Again, nice job of finding and sifting through there, dealing with the bump underneath. Attacking that football. You know, now here's Maben here dealing with the pressure. Watch this, underneath him. He sees it, his eyes are upfield. Got a block from 23 here. Gave him the time that he needed. Those are what we call drive concepts. Bill Walsh special.
And this is where having a really deep roster, and San Diego State does, their legs appear fresh.
Nice body control.
Taker is Brooks. They're going to rule him out of bounds. around the 15-yard line.
Well, Tank Pearson, you know, number 12, he's got to come. He's a smallish guy. He's only about 5'9", 175, the junior transfer. You got to make sure you play inside out, right? You can't go overrun your guy, and you're certainly going to get flickered away like that if you don't bring it all to the party. I mean, he just slung him off. I mean, this is an unbelievable job of body control after the catch, getting as much as you possibly could.
This Bobcat defense looks a little weary. And the numbers for Maben getting better here. Doesn't hurt to have 4 running backs to turn to. This time it's Kristen, buried by Bryce Houston. He certainly has been the most valuable defender for Ohio tonight.
Tim, I wouldn't be shocked if they just ran this ball twice more, put it in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And put the pressure on them to score a touchdown. You know they got to do that, then come back and get 3 more points. So.
A lot of multiple changes in that defensive front. Bradley Weaver has come in. Kobe Gorman has come in for Rodney Matthews. Second and 9.
Run it to the right, set the ball up in the middle of the field.
Out pattern is caught by Makai Shaw.
I like those little outcuts onto the short side of the field. How about a little sawbuck that they go to the right this time?
Yeah. Well, it's been a dink and dunk approach, and if the game is about limiting possessions, that's what you want to do.
Yep. I mean, it's an extended run, essentially, is what it is.
Kristen back in the backfield. They go 3 wide to the top of the screen. Maybe.
Oh, they got him to switch.
Quick out. It's right there for Kristen. And that's going to be really close to a first down. I think he got it. I think he's got it. First and goal. And that clock goes tick, 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 tick. Effectively shortening the game.
Tim, here's the pick right here. I know I hate to use that word, but tight end's going down the field. A wonderful job. That's Mark Redmond. He's got a touchdown tonight. That little switch route was made possible by him going up the field and picking off the guy that would be on the underneath cover.
Kristen stopped. Great defensive work that time by Brawley. And a strong safety just coming up and run support as fast as he could.
Tick, 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 tick.
By the way, last year we were on site for the Mountain West Championship game, and Hayner was the difference, and he was, we thought, out for the season. Missed so many games, came back to win the league, beating Boise State. You know, you think about how a season can change. Rourke is so good, and he means so much to the hopes of Ohio winning the MAC, or getting back to the MAC title game.
How's that hotel you stayed at? I'm just curious.
Cam Davis is in the backfield. Over the middle, it's caught, it's touchdown. It's the tight end, Redmond. Well, they lulled him to sleep and went back to the go-to guy in the red zone. The big tight end who's now got 6 catches for 62 yards.
Well, he's in this tight bunch formation. It's so selfless. The previous play, he sacrificed himself. Now he just sits it down right behind the underneath coverage and just, boy, oh man, that was like so too easy, Tim.
Browning's extra point. And the hometown fans are making a little noise. Trust me when I tell you, on our side of the field, this joint is jumping, and so is Redmond. San Diego State giving it up by 14.
Oh, look, gap band, baby.
Coach Prime is galloping into the biggest season opener of college football has seen in years as his Buffaloes face number 17 TCU. Big noon Saturday on Fox. Starts next week. Mark Ingram joins forces with Leinart, Urban Meyer, and Brady Quinn Rod Stone, as always, our man for all seasons, will be on hand. This one's squibbed, and they're going to let it go out of bounds. A wise choice by Keith Gooden-Wilburn, and they'll bring it out to the 35.
Free kick out of bounds. San Diego State. By rule, the ball is placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Yeah, they've been bringing it with emotion. I think they're remembering that bowl game loss a few years back in the Frisco Bowl. What say you? After Rourke went out of the game, it's been miscues that have been the problem. C.J. Harris, they were fortunate not to give up any points after that one. But this one was a real killer. They were going in, it looked for a score, and the game tilted on the last play of the first half, the touchdown. And then they missed on the first series. Spencer converted 4 straight third downs, got it in for a chip shot, and the laces weren't moved, and that missed field goal, that really was their last gasp of staying in the game. Here's Harris on a crossing pattern that's dropped by Miles Cross. There's yet another miscue.
What was the mantra and the mindset that Coach Alvin told us? He said, hey, our theme has got to be Ohio can't beat Ohio.
Right.
That was it, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened tonight. Again, those ill-advised decisions, missed opportunities, balls right in your hand, dropping them. Those things can't do it.
This is the 6th time in the last 7 games that Moose Maiden has multiple touchdown passes in a game. He has quietly gone about his business. Even though he hasn't been startling, he's been effective. Harris needs to be both startling and effective now. And he ushers himself out of bounds at the 43. They got a score. Hope to get the ball back quickly and score again down by 14. San Diego State has finally evened up the yards prior to this series at 301 total yards. In the fourth quarter yards up until this drive, they were up 81-9 in total yards in this quarter.
Well, it took total domination of the clock to do that, Tim, and just to show you how crazy this game has been. It's been a conservative game, but I mean, the ebb and flow, it's been feast or famine. You either dominate it or not. Whoa, nice.
An opportunity there.
Whoa.
Harris was getting blitzed, dumped it quickly. Pass could have been picked off. That's Apoko that actually deflected the ball, number 90. That's your 3rd team defensive tackle, number 90, Dana Apoko. The fresh bodies, I think, in depth of this San Diego State team. And look, they're quick. They're very quick.
And they're showing another what they call double gut blitz. There's 44 lined up in the middle in the A gap on that side of the center on either side. They got to contend with that. 44 and 58.
4th down and 2. This is a must make for the Bobcats.
This is a 6-man blitz here.
There's a quick move on the slant to Walton, a delayed slant. And he gets it up to the 49, a gain of 6, and they're still in it. Got to move quickly. This is the offense they like, Spence, so they should be comfortable going quickly.
Got to get them out of this 3 deep look. They're not going to be able to go deep. That's the problem.
Harris again tries to take what's given and does get beyond the line of scrimmage. Clock does continue to tick, however.
Just watch the back half of this Aztec defense, man. If you see 2 or more or a 3-man look across front, they're going to be playing prevent essentially. They're in a single high look here. Let's see.
Harris in trouble.
Wow.
And down he goes. Just all kinds of pressure. McDonald on one side and Tupu Alualu coming up the gut. Just a straight line rush.
It's the variety, Tim. They should. It's the variety of looks.
30 seconds.
That one was a 3-man look on a single high safety. The previous one 2 deep. They even went for a moment to what they call a 4-cross concept, which would deter any attempt to go deep. It's the mixture of all of those that's causing CJ, despite his experience, to struggle.
Timeout. Aztecs up by 14. Ohio trying to gather a little momentum late. Huge 3rd down and 10 for the Bobcats at midfield. Trying to hang in there and stay in this thing.
Same blitz look. They're backing out, though.
Harris's pass for Wiglis. He's got it. First down at the 36-yard line. So, right in front of Noah Tumblin. You think of these fans that made their way here. They did get some good weather. And wonderful fans in Athens, Ohio. Tim Albans lives very, very close to the Burrow family. Jimmy Burrow.
Oh, yeah, Joe Burrow's coach.
Joe Burrow's dad.
Yeah, former DC.
Yep, that's Tyler Foster, the tight end, on the receiving end. Another crossing pattern inside the 30 to the 29. What a great moment that was for us when you delivered the Lombardi to Joe at LSU after they had won the national title. Here's Harris. Inside the 20, and he takes himself down at the 19. He's going to rule him down at the 20, maybe the 21. Let's see if this hit came a little bit. Yeah. They were begging for it, the coaching staff, but I saw no malice there. And we've got a whistle prior to the snap, it appeared.
Prior to the snap, replay, stop the play to review for possible targeting.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
I'll tell you what.
Our producer, Jake Jolivet, decided to throw in this replay. I saw no malice, but was he leading with his helmet? Yeah, he was leading. Did he make contact? I don't think so.
I was on the side, and it was.
But it's worthy. But it's certainly worthy of taking a look. And at this stage, if you're Tim Albin, you just want the clock stopping. This, in effect, gives you a free timeout. Dean Blandino is back in Los Angeles, and I think first and foremost, Dean, just getting a look at it is going to help the plight of Ohio. What say you?
Well, I think what replay wanted to see, you've got a sliding runner, so that means he's defenseless. Now you've got to look, there's two defenders involved here, did either lead with the head, the shoulder, the forearm, and attack to the head neck area. To me, I see 58 wrap with the right hand, and I see this second defender, he does lower his head, but it looks like the contact is to the body. I don't see targeting here. Replay can't put on a late hit. The only thing they could look at here is targeting, and what we're looking for is either crown of the helmet or something forcible to the head neck, and I just don't see it here.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I think the coaching staff was begging for at least a replay look so they could have some time to discuss matters. And when you're behind by 2 scores and you're against a ball control team like San Diego State, anything you can do to slow down that clock is going to be helpful.
Yeah, I'm with Dean on this one. Marcus Ratcliffe, number 32, what they call their Aztec safety, came in there late. He basically laid his head on the shoulder, turned his head to the side, and gets him on the body. So I think they...
Here comes the call.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Second down. Correction. First down.
Wiglis comes into the slot to the right. They go 4 wide. Tight end Kazmarek, 87, is up at the top of your screen. Flank wide to that side is Tyler Walden, number 4. Harris looking long, trying to find Miles Cross. Incomplete into double coverage.
Either Miles didn't run the correct route, or they just not have been on the same page tonight on a number of pitching catches that would have resulted in great catches. I think. It just doesn't seem like there's that connection.
The number 1 story in Athens, Ohio tomorrow will be about the health of Rourke. And I'm just going to tell you, I believe that they chose to keep him out. We have not seen him on the sidelines in about the last quarter or so. But he was up and around when the second half began. I think they just decided this is Harris's game. That pass incomplete. Flag down. Kazmarek, the intended receiver. And it's Barfield finally getting a penalty flag. He's been very, very physical.
Defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty. And by rule, automatic first down.
He finally got caught. A wry smile on his face there. That's a good whistle, I think.
Yeah, so Darius got that left in, and he just pushes him out the last minute. You know what? He probably could have got away with it if he had turned his head around and looked back.
Yep.
He probably would have got away with that.
Again, they need to score and score quickly. Keeping it in the air, Harris.
Nice. That should be a hold.
Wrigless his jersey was
That
being
should have been a hold.
He was absolutely being held.
About the same guy, too.
Yeah, and again, the pass was overthrown by a large margin. If it's closer to the receiver, I don't think there's any doubt we would have seen the little yellow hanky. Watch here.
He had a nice little rub route underneath
right there. All over the jersey.
He's got him, that left arm.
Yeah, Sedarius was going for a little soiree right there. 2nd and goal. Harris again to the corner. Incomplete. Looking for Walter. Tyler Walton, the intended receiver again. 3rd and goal.
That's a tough throw to make against this aggressive unit down here, Tim. That corner, I understand it. But here's the reaction after the throw. He's disappointed that he hadn't gotten it there. And CJ's did such a great job for this team to close out the year last year in relief. But today, this aggressive front of Kirk Maddox has been after him frequently and often.
If Ohio was going to win this game today, the difference would have to have been Rourke. And CJ, listen, he's a competent backup, no doubt. But they've got to change what they do offensively when Rourke is out of the game. There's the tight end again. Pass a little underthrown to Kaczmarek, and it falls incomplete. So we're down to 4th down, and yet another opportunity for a stop for San Diego State in the red zone. That pass is on target. It's touchdown. Or very close to a touchdown.
It's almost like that ball had a string on the end of it, right? He just had to reach down and grab it. Just couldn't get it.
Here we go. Last gasp for the Bobcats.
Got to get some trouble out of his trips here. Somebody's got to rub off to come free. And they got to do it under pressure.
Harris intercepted. Taken away by Radcliffe.
Oh, he's going to score.
He may go the distance. Marcus Radcliffe with a marker down inside the 15. Touchdown.
Take it back. Take it back.
Looks as though it will come back. It was exciting. Here comes the call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer with a high hit on the quarterback. Defense, number 58.
Wow.
Half the distance to the goal. An automatic 1st down.
And Holt can't believe it. It negates a 100-yard kick interception return. Cody Moon is the guilty party.
Well, he was definitely high here, and he led with the
he did.
Led with the helmet.
Yeah. I understand the disappointment from Brady, but that is a good call. He got him high. You want your guys, as Kirk Maddox says, play with your hair on fire, and Cody Moon's done that all night. New life, though. Spencer, 1st and goal from the 3.
If not, but for the moment.
Instead of 27-6. I mean, that's where we are. That's how important that call was. You know, San Diego State's been thinking about their team knows there are 2 players on this team that were a part of that Frisco Bowl shellacking when they were shut out.
San Diego State will take their first charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
That happened in 2018. In the 2018 Frisco Bowl, Nathan Rourke, brother of Curtis, was the quarterback on that Ohio team that year. Here it is again.
You can see heads up, but he does come around the head neck area and definitely leads with his helmet.
Yep.
Yeah, and he launches as well, too.
It's not at all controversial when you see it on replay. And a really great run by Radcliffe. And And he had a convoy going down that sideline. This is worth showing, even though it doesn't count.
Yeah, he got an inside help job by his teammate.
And those
John Malone came back in there.
Those big uglies from Ohio look like Nick Saban's team in the kick six, trying to track down the Auburn receiver, right?
Yeah.
Who took that field goal back for a touchdown to win.
If I'm critiquing it, though, I'm saying he probably didn't trust his speed. He would have just made a beeline instead of bouncing it
more than
out
likely.
wide.
Well, listen,
Great return.
for Ohio, all these games are important. Week 0 games, well, they all count. There's no exhibition season. And they're just a few weeks away, 3 weeks away from having to play Iowa State. I mean, they want to have a healthy Rourke. I get that.
No question.
But I'm going to suggest that discretion was the better part of valor in leaving this game to C.J. Harris.
Well, it's early. It's a long season, man. You got to have your best assets available to win.
On 1st and goal.
Nice.
The corner route. Bingo. There it is. Yep. Miles Cross for the touchdown.
Finally.
That's the one we thought Jacoby Jones might have thrown his way had he been able to go in today's game.
Well, they've taken enough shots at him. I'm not so sure if Jacoby Jones were not available, if they'd have taken that many shots with him.
Yeah.
He's probably their best second in terms of size to deal with those matchups like that. But, Tim, they've tried so many times. I think he's missed like 3 or 4 attempts, a couple in the corner of the end zone, and finally got it when it mattered most.
You think about it, Wiggles had a shot at one, you might recall. Moss had at least 2. And actually, you can make a case should have caught 1.
Yep.
And did not. It was not a bad throw by Harris. And you saw there Jones, all 6'5" of him. He's a difference maker in the Mid-America Conference. When you're in the Mid-American Conference, your defensive backs are all about 5'8" and 5'9". You got a 6'5" receiver. That is a weapon. Gianni Spedic for the extra point. Well, we know what's coming next.
We do.
Just under 2 minutes to play. We're not done yet in San Diego.
And it's likely going to be a screaming Mimi, man.
Ohio does have 2 timeouts remaining.
So you get your best hands out there, your best athletes. Get ready to protect the football, gobble it up if you can, and so if you got any skill whatsoever, walk-on receivers, frontline receivers.
Here comes the hands team for San Diego State.
If you notice that each one of the members on the Aztecs team has got a little love towel, or what we call sweet towel on the back. And that's so they can keep their hands dry for just such an emergency.
Redmond's out there. Blake is out there. The other tight end, Cameron Harpole, is out there, 86. Last year, Ohio tried 0 onside kicks, so this is new for them, at least in game action.
He may bring this one back to the right. I don't know if I can kick it.
Alex Casey will handle the chores. There he goes. And out of bounds. Did not get the Sunday hop on week 0. He was looking for that big Sunday hop.
I just ball, first down.
The ball is oblong to be sure, but Timmy, when it has to travel that far before it gets to 10, my eyes are all over that ball. I'm going to handle that. I would have much rather gone back to the right side because he had a one-man advantage. You see those 4 guys down there? There's only 2 guys standing in front of him. I mean, that thing is screaming Mimi, man. It's got no bounce.
Not the time to hit a worm burner. Jalen Armstead had a remarkable second half. Armstead was tremendous in this game. We heard so much about Kristen and Cam Davis, but Armstead's running of the football in the second half was huge. 6 rushes, 76 yards. That's his 7th carry, and it'll stay at 76. And a quick timeout by Ohio. But Mark Redmond was the big-time player and all Mountain West preseason performer. This touchdown right before the half. They used him really very well through the course of the game. That's an acrobatic catch along the sidelines. And Maben always seemed confident with throwing his way.
And he also sacrificed himself and allowed others to make touchdowns as well, Tim. And then did the reward so quickly after doing his touchdown as well. First half he had one, of course the second half he facilitated another. I just think when you have that kind of selfless play, this team is built for 12 personnel. That's 2 tight ends, 1 back. And again, it's some homage to, of course, Andy Ludwig, but Ryan Lindley did a wonderful job of embracing this style that they have to win with, and going to get rewarded for it tonight.
Well, it will be tough in the Mountain West Conference again this year. You think about where that league is, and I know the former commissioner just retired last year, Craig Thompson's got to be proud of.
Sure, buddy, isn't it?
Yep, known him for 40 years. He's sitting at home watching this. Armstead stopped by Brawley, and another quick timeout.
Take the third and final timeout of the half.
This
30 seconds.
Timeout is called, and there you see that San Diego State. Look at this. This is murderer's row.
It's pretty stout.
UCLA, then Oregon State. That game, by the way, will be seen here on FS1. Boise State after that, and Air Force is no walk in the park. Although San Diego State has had their way against them in recent years. The Force is picked second in the Mountain West, and Troy Calhoun's one of the most tenured coaches in college football, and certainly in this league. Well, I got to tell you, having seen the Mountain West and what Hayner did last year, and by the way, he's going to stick with the Saints. He's going to stick in that organization. He's got a lot of Drew Brees light in his game. Derek Carr is going to be the starter, but I think that young man is going to hang in the National Football League. But whoever wins this league better have someone that's calling the shots, calling the signals, that can deliver the goods, because it's really improved, as has the MAC and so many other conferences around the country. Sun Belt and American, of course, have great teams in that league. App State, of course, Tulane last year beat USC.
Yeah.
They return a lot of their talent. Their quarterback Pratt returns. Look out for them. They get Ole Miss in week 2. They beat Kansas State and USC last year. Think about that.
I'll tell you what, this schedule, I'm just sitting there looking at it again, Tim. There's a lot of opportunity here for the Aztecs. If they could just take care of business and get a couple more, show well against UCLA.
They really need 3 yards here. It's 4th down. There's just over a minute to play. It looks like we got a whistle prior to the snow. Timeout. Quick timeout.
San Diego State has taken their third and final timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
Interesting. Guess they're going to play it safe.
Ohio will touch the ball again, it would appear. Very good chance of it. Which has got to be considered a bonus to Tim Albin at this stage, to where they were. I mean, they were one roughing the penalty call away from being blown out 27-6. Roughing the passer penalty kept them in this game. Well, here's the thing about our sport, Spencer, with all that's been said in the offseason, all the realignment moves. I'm so happy we didn't have to talk about it tonight because the game was so good. But in truth, we've got 133 Division I college football teams. And our friend Mike Oresco is right, the commissioner of the American Conference. Let's play football and call it Division I, not group of and power of.
It looks like they're going for it, Timmy.
Yep, they are going to go for it. Let's see if they can induce an offsides. That's got to be what they're thinking. No, they're going. And Maben is going to carry it. And he stopped.
That's not
2 yards shy of the first down. I am shocked.
Absolutely.
I am shocked. You've really dialed in now and given Ohio a fighting chance. This could be the gift of all gifts.
Well, listen, here's the deal. You're going to give them at least 3 shots, right? Down
65
4 shots.
65 yards to tie it up.
No question, man.
65 yards.
So you're going to come back and play 3 deep, 4 cross, whatever it is, but you're going to get 4 wides. Maybe you're going to get a defensive pass interference. Something's going to happen. You're not going to get the rush that you want. You're outsized up in your front, so the pressure's not going to come.
55 seconds left. Got to use the sidelines, and you got to go fast. Bandura dropped it. Pass was a little high. He tried to put it down in receiving mode. Probably better off that he did drop it. They hold on to the time on the clock.
Yeah, because he caught that. They'd have lost another 25 seconds.
Absolutely. 4 wides. This is where you're thinking about Wigless, 12, and the slot to the top of your screen. And 87, Kazmarek.
They got to get to the boundary some kind of way, to the edges. They got to get to the edges. Oh, my God.
Underneath to Bandura again. He does get a first down.
Yeah, that's good. That'll stop it. That'll stop it for the time being.
Yep. Still have to go very quickly, though.
That clock's moving now.
Looking long. Incomplete, intended for Tyler Walden again, covered by Noah Tumblin, number 10. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, see, all of this is unnecessary angst that the Aztecs are suffering, man. They just simply pump that ball away, and they're not dealing with this.
I'm sure Brady will be asked about it afterwards.
Wow.
That's certainly putting it on your defense. Let's say that, right? Harris, 16 for 37, 181. That pass, his arm was hit, caused the incompletion.
Rolling on the field, incomplete pass. 3rd down.
That was Wyatt Drager, 45, with the pressure that got to his arm and disrupted the play. I'll give Tim Albin's team credit there, hanging in there until the very end with a little bit of help because of the judgment for San Diego State in their last series.
They're going to stay in this balanced look and try to win, man.
On 3rd down and 10. Walton's got it. He's a yard shy of the first down. So 4th down and a yard.
4th down.
So 26 seconds left. I'd move him out of the pocket, and then try to give him the run-pass option to do more, because you know they're going to be in man coverage.
Maybe the only thing you would do is, if you think you can get it on the ground, it's quarterback draw because they're empty. No one's back there. Got to get a yard to keep this game going.
They brought in the inside receiver, so they're going to run it to the left, Tim. They're running the numbers. They're going to
cover 0. That pass is caught. The tight end, Kazmarek, and they've got the first down. They're 33 yards away.
Boy, some nads there.
39 ticks and counting. Got to snap it in a hurry. Got to get it in a hurry. Now they're under 30 seconds left. CJ wants to take a shot. He will. Cross the intended receiver, incomplete. Now only 11 seconds left. I'm a little surprised they didn't spike it there. Now they really only have 2 more plays because of the clock. You know, they were in a position you'd think of maybe just hang on, let's get the extra yard when needed. 2nd down.
So the Aztecs have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys.
Yeah.
And that
secondary.
Yep.
As far back as the 20-yard line they await. Harris's pass is intercepted.
That's what happens.
Bringing it back and finally stepping out of bounds. And the game will be done after that interception. New Zealand Williams, sophomore from Oakland, California. San Leandro High puts this one on ice. This is what happens when you go with 8 defensive backs, right? Go a little deep into that.
That's a lot of bodies back there to sift through.
They gave Brett Bender a headache on that last one. I'm looking for him. You went 3 deep. I still don't see him. Yep. But he does come away with the interception. And a really big.
I think they had 1 second left on the clock, Tim. They did. 2 seconds.
They want to snap the ball one more time. Well, Spencer, since they're giving us this time, right, we might as well promote what we've got coming up next, right?
Yeah, how about it?
Joel Klatt is coming up next.
That's great.
The Joel Klatt Show. And then next week, you and I get to work on Friday. And we'll see another case of Maction in the Big Ten. We get to see the Chippewas of Central Michigan, which brings back memories for me of Dick Enberg,
Nice.
the great play-by-play man, of course, who passed away not long ago, did Padres games after his stint with us when we were over at CBS.
He loved almonds, you remember?
Yeah, he loved almonds.
Loved almonds.
And something clear with rocks in it. We miss Dick, a wonderful man, a great mentor to me. But he lived in La Jolla and was at Central Michigan. That's where he hailed. That's his college. And they'll be taking on a Michigan State team. I think it's got a lot of pressure on them this year. Mel Tucker
they laid an egg last
he better
year.
win those non-conference games. You know, so that'll be fun. We look forward. Tom Izzo's going to stop in and see us. I'm looking forward to that.
That guy knows his football, not just hoops. He knows everything.
He's got a football facility named for him now. There's the last snap. And San Diego State made it a little more interesting than they wanted, but they come away with the win. And Spence, this was a wonderful way for us to open our season. And our 9th year together here, our 25th year overall, and as always, enjoyed it, buddy.
Well, it's like yesterday's wine, man. It gets better with time, and we appreciate it.
Our many thanks to Scott Alexander, our content coordinator, our spotter, Brett Bender, Jake Jolivet produced it. Dustin Denny directed it. For Spencer, our entire Fox Sports crew, coming up next, Joel Klatt, one of his many shows. Big Noon Conversations with, among others, Deion Sanders. We'll see you next week.